Hello, welcome to the Hoopty Cast. I'm Tyler Hoover with my friends Elliot Alvis and Rob Santori, where they research and tell me stories and entertain me, and hopefully you as well. But this one's different. This one, Rob has decided to just crap all over me today.
No, I mean it's not. It's picking the cars that we and others think that you probably never should have sold.
Well, there's so many. I'm curious, have you narrowed it down to a certain number?
Yeah, there's 10. A nice even number of 10 cars that you shouldn't have sold that I think you shouldn't have sold.
I wonder if it's been 200 yet. 200 cars in Hoovie's garage. If it's that many,
it's got to be inching
I would
close.
think so. I had to go through a lot of your old videos to kind of find some of these. And
sorry.
No, yeah.
I'm very sorry.
He didn't watch them. He's just
I mean, I would you just chat GPT, hey, pick this out.
Looked at the videos. So is the Bugatti Veyron on this list?
It's not.
It is not. Well,
It's not.
I mean, that's going to be something, because will it do McLaren F1 and go to 20 million bucks? Will it do Ferrari F40 and go to like 3 million bucks? That's the question, and that's what it's going to be, probably somewhere in between there, I would guess, because the production number on the Bugatti Veyron is so much lower. But the real question is how long? Because if it's 3 to 5 years,
Oh, absolutely.
right. Yeah.
If it's 10 to 15 years, okay.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, like
and that's kind of why I didn't put it on the list, because I think it's going to be a little farther down the road. Also, it's very easy to put a lot of hyper and supercars on that list, but it's not really just about that. So I wanted to make sure that I had a nice mix of hoopties,
right,
non-hoopties, and some ones that I think that even your audience didn't even know you had.
Yeah, well, the F40, which I got to drive.
Yeah. How was that?
Video you sent.
That is worth every penny of whatever the heck they want, for sure.
So I've heard differently. So I was
because Amelia Hartford went and looked at that one that was the government auction, seized by the feds for the IRS, I think, back taxes or something like that, and it sold for $3 million. It was a nice car. And this one, I didn't get the price on it, but the Cultivated Collector had to cut out on me early because he was meeting the Prince of Morocco.
Oh,
you know what? You got to cut out on meetings for that sometimes.
Yeah, like a 23-year-old future king of Morocco was looking at a Mura SV and the F40. So he was coming earlier than expected, so we had to wrap things up kind of quick. So,
wow.
Yeah.
He was an eclectic guy.
I was like, hey, I'm a YouTuber here. Don't you want to wait? Make the King of Morocco. But
no chance.
No.
I wish my nepotism allowed for me to be considering a Mura SV and something else. I wish to be like, oh man, this is what's coming to me.
Yeah, so that was a fun week. We went to Newport, Rhode Island as well. There'll be some April's Garage videos. She's obsessed with the Gilded Age, so going through those mansions and everything else.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Love that. I love stuff like that.
Yep, rented a Macan GTS.
Yeah,
and when we were prepping for the video, we actually watched your base Macan GTS video, which got views out there.
Yeah,
whoa, like 250,000 views for your channel.
Yeah, wouldn't have counted. It's seriously, I think it's regularly my most viewed thing. I think it's because everybody makes top trim level things, and I was like, I literally thought that. I was like, you know what? I've never even seen a video of like, what is the base version of this like?
But here's the thing. Macan GTS, as far as the older ones, the base model, very close together in price because the GTS has the big problems. So it has that $1 million oil leak from the front the cover.
It's
I think
the
it's timing chain cover,
whatever.
Which is like engine out, tear apart, into the world. $20,000 at the Porsche dealer to do this.
And what year is the one you rented?
It was a 2017 on Turo.
Okay, so that is first gen.
It was leaking oil. Yes.
Oh, yikes. That's bad because there's a tray, which means it's piled up on the tray and leaking out of that.
I mean, it was enough to where I could see like drips, a drip or two on the ground parked at the hotel.
Did it give you the little message when you started up where it's like, please add 1 quart?
No, didn't do that.
Okay.
But put 500 or 600 miles on it. I think that, and then the transfer case or the diffs is another thing that fails on them.
It kind of makes a howling noise. Low. It's not bad, but you can hear the transfer case kind of being like, woo, 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 like at certain speeds.
This one was fine with that, but it's interesting because now that's a $20,000 car because of those $20,000 plus issues.
Exactly. If you look at the last few, because so back then they still made the turbo, which was like so they had the Macan, the S, the GTS, and the turbo. So they had 4 different levels of Macan. They've since gotten rid of the turbo, and the GTS, like the Cayenne, is essentially just a detuned turbo. Even the last few like 4, 5, 6 turbo models that I've seen trade on Cars and Bids are like 15, 16 grand.
Right.
It's just even low miles or miles. That's just what they're worth, which is brutal because they're good cars. They just have first gen stuff.
Well, and Rob has second gen issues with his Cayenne.
Yeah,
right?
I knew this was going to get to this.
Yeah. So how's it going with the timing chain stretch thing?
It didn't go well. I took it in, just for a check engine light that was on. I didn't really notice anything weird at all. I mean, other than when you started up cold, it would vibrate just a little bit for a few seconds and then stop. Like you could almost like a motor mount was bad. So I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Check engine light would just, it would stay solid, but nothing changed. It felt normal. So I just took it in to have the oil change because it was due. And
sorry, that's such a Rob thing to do. There's clearly an issue, and you're like, oil change, please.
Well, a lot of people have check engine light. I thought it was for the gas cap because whoever bought the car before me and sold it and traded it into Eddie's or wherever they traded it, they put on like a cheap ass plastic gas cap that like has the little piece broken and it doesn't lock. So I thought that's all it was because the first time I scanned it, it was an evap code. So I'm like, oh, that's all it is.
Like, it doesn't click?
Yeah, it doesn't click.
Okay, yeah.
It just kind of seals. It doesn't click.
But all the old BMWs that you've owned, you don't know what timing chain rattle sounds like.
But it doesn't rattle at startup. It never did.
You said on the cold start it made a weird noise.
No, it did not. It vibrated.
Do you ever do it with, like, the windows down or the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I did it with everything. There was not one rattle or nothing to be had. So they changed the oil, but when they started it back up, a PSM failure light came on. And they could not, as soon as they would reset it, it would come back. So he's like, well, we're going to have to dive into this a little bit. It turns out that the timing chain, there's a plastic guide that goes along the chains, had completely shattered.
And in a group chat that you're not in, I saw that picture.
It doesn't.
And it's like wadded up.
It wadded itself up. So right now the car is completely apart. It's getting new timing chains, guides, doing the water pump. No, actually, we're not, because the water pump's not part of that. That's right. We're not doing that. And I've been told after this, it should be good for another 100,000 miles. It's been reliable for the 10 or 12,000 miles we put on it. We've done the oil changes. We've done the maintenance. It's not like I just pulled a Rob and just, let it sit in the garage for a year.
The previous owner that ran it up to, what, you bought it with 130?
130, yeah.
Was not very
Apparently not.
diligent.
No, I got caught on that. So unfortunately, I'm going to be selling a couple cars.
But yikes for you for an oil change, and then you get that, thrown in there. That's
not ideal. So it's not been not a good week for me.
Bummer.
Car-wise. How about you? I heard you had a little incident yourself.
I figured Tyler's going to bring that up. Not car-related whatsoever.
I don't know about this. What?
Oh, it was just
you're talking about the country club?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's been about a week, but yes.
There it is.
Yeah, so Tyler and I, we occasionally hang out other than this. And, we were having a nice evening with our children.
Yes, the community pool at the country club.
Emphasize poo and pool.
And, we were dinner. There was, my daughter has a little bit of a blockage right now. She's on.
You gave your daughter a laxative and then took her to a community pool to swim with my children.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's essentially what
literally
happened,
what you did.
But that is not what I intended to do.
And not only that, so the kid sharts once. And then it's a popcorny thing that he cleans up out of the swimsuit. And then she goes again. And then it's the full, after
it was like an hour later. And then the problem was my other older daughter was the one who raised the flag on it. We're sitting at a table chatting.
Right.
And my older daughter's swimming with her goggles, looking underwater, fascinated. And she just sits up and goes, "Hey, Daddy," across the place. And I'm like, "Yeah." And she just goes, "There's poop under here." And I'm like, Tyler just looks at me and goes, "Nice."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no."
So,
and then
there's the big piece right underneath her. And then there's like a family, like old father and grown children all in the pool together, maybe 6 or 7 of them, and they are surrounded by little dollops of poop. And then when they realize it, oh my God! I mean, it's the full Caddyshack moment. Everybody get out!
Everybody out of the pool.
It's the end of the day for the pool.
Yeah, I was mortified because the thing is like I'm not a member; I'm a guest. So a guest's kid pooped in the country club pool. Everybody has to get out.
So
I have this poopy child.
The head lifeguard, he told me a great story because he's been working there for many years. And he said his first summer working there, he's a teenager, it's his first job, and somebody vomits in the pool.
Yeah.
And they give him the skimmer net, the wand thing, without the pole. And they just say, you got to jump in and get it out.
Oh.
And he doesn't know any better, so he jumps into the pool full of vomit and he's skimming it out as like a hazing thing.
Yeah.
And he just thought that's what he was supposed to do, and they're all standing by the water laughing at him. That
That's
he actually
amazing.
jumped in and did it.
Oh,
Well, my thing, speaking of the skimmer method, is how they extracted the poop from the pool too this time. Because I
Indeed.
saw after I'd cleaned her up, I came back and there's just like 3 people with skimmers in there. I'm like,
Indeed.
oh,
And then they shock the pool. It's like a big barrel that they just
God! So you
pour in.
basically just killed everybody's afternoon.
It was horrible. Look, I mean, I am thankful it was towards the end of the evening.
It was.
So there was that. If it was like Saturday at 3 p.m., it would have been a
Did
day
you get
earlier.
any side eyes?
I don't know. I was so
she's
busy.
3 years old, right?
She's 3 years old.
She barely potty
Yeah.
trained, and you give her a laxative and say, "Let's go to the pool."
By the way, it's not recreational. She's having a blockage issue. Like I wasn't just like, hey,
Well,
laxative
not
in the
anymore.
pool.
No, that worked.
But then you told me, "Oh, she just did this earlier at the other pool."
But it
it's
didn't
like,
come-
wait.
didn't-
So there's a pattern?
No,
And you didn't think
she-
maybe swim diapers.
No, yeah, I know. Well, trust
That's
me.
why you didn't do that?
Well, first of all, thought she was past them, and
Nope.
second of all, the other one, she did it in the suit. It was contained. I was like, okay, that was annoying for just me. This one was mortifying all around. So yeah, that's not the only thing that's new with me, but
Yeah.
yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, and Elliot, there saw people there that he knew from one of his the worst ex he's ever had.
Oh, boy.
Like
Yes.
part of that friend group there. So
Yeah, the Real
he was
Housewives
catching up
group.
to her
Oh,
and all that
no.
stuff. So yeah,
The who's
I
who?
think she was gone. Yeah, it was the mom of one of the girls in the housewife group.
Great.
and yeah,
Yep.
it's whatever. I always see somebody when I'm there.
That's of course when that's going to happen. To be
Yeah.
honest, that's when that
Naturally.
will happen.
But
I'm sorry.
yeah.
but
No.
it was the standard like, oh, you're looking really good, you know.
Oh,
yeah,
the mom,
that-
huh?
that was
She's-
all-
Oh,
No. I am in a happy, committed relationship, Rob. Not doing.
what?
Anyway, we'll get to the list.
No,
Good.
but yeah,
Good.
I was like, and I'm going to be doing worldwide stuff for the week after this. So
Well, yeah, we'll do probably one more podcast, and then you're
think?
off.
Oh,
on
yeah,
your
we
auction.
will.
Yeah,
So-
we have another one.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So there's the docket. There's going to be Monterey Car Works going to be finished by the time this comes out. So
Yeah, I know.
we'll
We're
see
all
what the
missing
result of that is.
We're bad
And so-
enthusiasts.
Yeah. Anyway, so Rob,
Yes, on to the list.
a
Well,
list of 10 cars, huh?
So yeah, obviously you are already combative, as you have let me know about this.
I'm going to
before
try
we
and be
even
nicer
started.
because I see the comments sometimes say I'm a little mean to Rob, but he's being very personal this week. He's trying to start a fight. And
No, I'm not.
If you
He's
he's disagreeing with me right now. He's already fighting. So
Yeah.
but if you do like this interplay,
Subscribe.
Interplay. What?
well, so before
Jesus, why
I
don't we
just-
get an OnlyFans together?
Well, if you like this interaction, please subscribe, and also that we
Please.
have a Patreon. I've accidentally in a VinWiki video described what me and April do together as verbal intercourse
I did see
Wow.
that. It was pretty great.
Okay.
in our videos together in the
Verbal
studio.
intercourse.
It was, it was a good description. That's a,
It's
that's going to be in the shorts.
In the dictionary, that's the right description. Anyway, car number one.
All right, all right. So car number one. We're going to start with one that is one that I've owned. So you already know it's one of a couple. It is your 1992 Acura NSX.
Yes.
This one absolutely counts. And here's why. You paid $31,000 for that car in 2017. It was your sell. Yeah, that's a fuzzy picture, but
you just copied the thumbnails
on
like
some
off
of
the
them, yeah,
small
because
little ones.
I wanted to get you.
Not
Well,
the
what
big
else am I going to
thumbnail.
put
Put up a picture you took when you owned the car.
I never could find one. Oddly enough, even when I went as far back as I could go, I did not have a picture of that car.
That's how much you loved it.
Rob
Well, I didn't have it long enough.
was so dumb with this car.
Let's wait. Let's
Hold
let's
on.
explore it
Yeah,
first.
why are you?
Let's not skip
hold
to
on
the
a second.
punchline.
I'm literally giving you compliments here, and you're getting ready to shit on it.
Okay.
All right, listen up. Okay, so this you said self-described was your first supercar that you on your channel. This was the
Yes.
first true supercar.
I bought it hoping that YouTube would make the car payments, which were, I want to say, $500 a month. And I was hoping, I knew that the Auto Trader articles would pay for it because I was posting and getting paid, I think, $150 an article and posting once a week. So I thought, okay, so that was the move to try and jump the channel, and it didn't work.
Yeah, and you did so many cool things with it. You taught that kid to drive stick on it, which was great.
What's his name?
Tegan, yeah.
Tegan, yeah. You taught him to drive stick. You tracked it.
I did.
You did. And I mean, it was just a neat car. Even back then, I believe they were getting harder and harder to find.
Correct.
At that
So
point.
this one, I bought sight unseen for $30,000, clean title, and it showed up, and somebody had crashed into a curb, and not broke anything on the suspension, but really just kind of boogered it up. It was all out of whack. A dealer tried to fix it, and then they didn't know what they were doing because it's a pretty complicated front suspension system, and it was way off. And the wizard was able to figure out with no parts and just just make it aligned and worked.
Wow.
So that was very lucky with that, and we didn't have to do much else. But yeah, I think a little over $30,000.
And I think the only thing I remember that was done to it is it had the cluster swapped to
Yes.
what was it, a cluster out of an S2000?
Yes.
That was
I
done
thought
to
that
it?
you did the cluster.
I did
swap.
that.
You did it.
I
Okay,
did it.
you did it.
I thought it was cool.
But you bought it with what? It was like stock otherwise, right?
It was stock,
Yeah,
80,000
yeah.
miles.
Stock, 80,000
Somebody
miles.
had done the interior once and did some crazy 2000s Pit My Ride thing to it. So I did a sort of custom interior that I liked rather than going back to stock, just because I thought that I needed to do something for YouTube, different. So I wanted to do all the cool things, as far as the cluster swap, as far as the custom interior, all that stuff. If I was doing it all over again, the R wing, that carbon fiber wing, I put that on there. If I was doing things differently, I would have, just basically brought it back to stock. But the thing is, the videos didn't do all that well. Apollo 911 kicked butt.
My God, did it
Yeah,
ever.
I mean, I think a lot of people found your channel from from that, and obviously the other ones you know about.
The S600, the Hoopties, the
Right.
$500 Subaru SVX, the Chrysler LeBaron, the
Lexus
real
ES
the
manual.
Lexus ES. All this is around
Yeah.
the same time, and it was smashing this thing, and it was at the time the most expensive car that I had.
and the coolest one you had, but that it just goes to show, how sometimes unpredictable YouTube is. You're like, this should be a surefire
right.
hit.
So you're saying I shouldn't have sold it?
I don't
but
think
for,
you sh-
for a business. I think that was the point of these videos. The videos, cars I shouldn't have sold.
Well,
But
if you want to pick all because of the ones you lost money, or you could have,
Oh, there you go.
it is.
From
Yeah,
a
bro.
from
That
a
was
business standpoint, for me, it didn't work. So trading it for a non-running 355 made
Much
a lot
better.
of sense.
It did. It did. Now, this is one personally that we both shouldn't have sold. I'm in the same boat. And I think now, if you had this car now, let's say, but you never did this video then, I think it would do a lot better.
Maybe.
I think maybe it's probably in its I think it would come around to the point where there's not as many people doing videos on these. And your channel, this would be kind of a forgotten supercar.
If it did, it needs to be one that's like 250,000 miles and beat.
Yes.
That's
and
more in his
even then,
thing,
there's
to be
one that sold recently, a 95 Targa, that still brought almost $50,000 with 200,000 miles on it.
So that's what I was going to bring up. Another thing that I think that's important here is the price you acquired it for was very indicative of the time. And in, I want to say 4 or 5 years, that same car is 60 grand.
Yeah, 60,
60?
70,
70.
probably.
With
70.
That's what I'm
80,000
saying.
miles?
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's
70.
it's crazy how much the NSX is, even the early NSX market changed, because you're like, that was a lot of money to pay for one when you bought it.
Okay.
And then it was like, but nobody could have
right.
predicted that.
It-
It just was what it was.
It is pretty crazy, but then, not to be a crypto bro, and I don't have any crypto, but you put it 30 grand in crypto back in 2017.
Well, of course.
If you
Yeah.
put it in the stock market, if you put it in, anything pre 2020, it's the
Yes.
world is so different now.
It really
Agreed.
is. I mean, but I think a car like this is something you had a relatively cheap entry level into it with 31,000. It wasn't bad. Plus what
Yeah.
you put into it. It's not like you're going to go buy one of these for 75 now. So if you still had it, you'd still have one of the coolest, iconic cars for that you paid 31,000 for. So I really don't think you should have ever sold it, because it is. It's not like that 31,000. I mean, at this point, you're really doing great. I mean, it would be a great car to have around.
Right, but why did you only have it for 4 days?
Yeah, so let's,
had
let's
it
skip
for-
to that part. Hold on. So that let's for context for everybody who wasn't watching back then or
Yes.
whatever, didn't follow the story. Let's go through it. I don't know what you were like. All right, these videos aren't doing well. I got to get something else.
Yeah.
So enters Rob into the chat.
Is driving his 355 down the highway. It blows a coolant hose. Right. He gets ticked off. He parks it for months and doesn't fix it. So it's just sitting there for 6 months, probably 6 months.
I had 3.5. Wasn't that long.
It was a while. It was a
It
while.
was a while. It was a little while.
And I proposed this and cash on top.
You
right?
did.
Was it 10 grand?
10 grand.
Okay.
Which was a good deal, because I paid 43 for the Ferrari, and I'd
Yeah.
put 10 grand into it, but that's okay. It's expected. So it was a good deal to me. But the thing was it was kind of pitched to me, and I remember saying to you back then, I was like, I've never had a Japanese fun car, so I didn't really know. Is this something I'm going to love? That's not really me. I had Mustangs at that point when I was, friends with you.
Post Stang Bang era, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely post Stang Bang era.
Well, we had this weird group in Wichita called the Wichita
Supercar.
Supercar.
Which
And-
was supercars.
And it was like you wanted to still be in this group with some kind of car, because then you sort of DQ'd yourself.
Yeah,
you were out.
if you sold it, you got actually kicked out of the group. And back then we wanted to kind of still be hanging around with
it's
that.
Right.
16 people keeping up with the Joneses.
Literally in Wichita.
Right.
Yes,
It was
it's
just a way to show up and have lunch.
that anybody else would be like, look at these 16 douchebags, and we're all here with our
Well,
cars.
because there was one time we were sitting and hanging out, and then like some kids threw like loose change, a bag of quarters on the 355, M55 and the
that.
NSX. Because we had all of our nice cars
You
parked
went
up front.
full dad mode on that one kid.
I ran after them.
Yeah, you did. It was
Yeah.
it was at Freddy's.
Yes.
At 21st and Tyler.
Yeah, they didn't expect someone to get up and chase them.
I've never seen a kid come back and say, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir." I'll pick
anyway.
and
Well,
then
that
picking
goes
up the
back to-
change. We're like, and you were like, "Don't pick that change up. That's ours now." Like you're like, we get the change. If you're going to throw the change on us, we're keeping it.
Mad Tyler, especially to a kid. Holy fuck.
Oh, I couldn't even
It
imagine.
was, some 16-year-old that thought it'd be funny. It was a very impulsive thing for him to do, and he didn't really think it through.
You
And
went, shall I say, volcanic.
I explained it to them, like we're all people that have worked really hard for this, and these are not like super expensive cars, but they are to us, and it's like this is, but I was very angry as I was explaining it to them. So, but yeah,
So you don't agree. You think that you're good. Well, and you're going to, because ultimately, you could buy it back if you want to. It wasn't, it didn't really view out the way you wanted it to. It didn't really make money the way you wanted it to, and that's understandable.
I love this car. I love the transmission as far as the experience, as far as the way Honda does manual gearboxes, unbelievable.
But I would
And
almost go as far to say is, the one thing you don't feature on your channel a lot is imports like this. It's you do some, but
Right.
I mean, there's not many. And I feel like, you kind of threw the old, threw the carrot out there to the import guys that watch your channel and say, oh, yes, finally we get one of these. And then it got pitched, and then it'd been a while for another one. So I think if you would have hung on to it, and
I have
every
the
once in a while
SVX.
had to just sit, I mean, you have a Jurassic Park Jeep up there that'll never get sold.
I didn't have any money, Rob. I could get one car loan at a time. So I went from, because this is all that I could afford. So I went from car payment on NSX to car payment on 355. It burned to the ground, to where I went car payment on Bentley Continental GT.
Jake, whenever you want to put that up, you can.
So Bentley Continental GT was the next one
dead
where I
horse
got totally
lease.
scammed on that one. That was an absolute nightmare. Lost a bunch of money on that, but huge views. Even though that's the thing, I paid $30,000 for this, and it was an absolute disaster. But the millions of views that those videos were getting, there was a huge springboard for me.
Now, the question is, do you think that the lack of this car's success or breakthrough in the channel, do you think that made you not get as many import or JDM cars?
Yeah, probably. But
Like it put a
I
bad
think
taste
so.
in your mouth. That's why I was wondering if you think that might be the case.
I did the SVX. So
Right.
I did that.
Yeah.
And it was just me gravitating towards what I sort of like you. I didn't do many imports before this.
Well, you knew.
I mean, I did
The
Fast
stuff
and
you knew.
Furious Prius.
Well, that's true.
That was a huge video
That was
series.
a huge hit.
Yeah.
That almost made the list.
So that was on there. Yeah. The
That's
Prius
true.
was
I guess
on
that was
there.
all in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and I sold it for the same reason that you did, in a sense. Was it didn't really click with me. I loved it. It didn't click with me, but about 3 months after I sold it,
You regretted it?
I saw it driving around.
Is it still local?
Yeah, he came back in town for something.
okay.
I think he picked up something somewhere.
But you
at a
made
shop.
money on me on that one because you sold it for 45, or what? I guess because you spent money on the
yeah,
service of
I
your
spent
car
money
and
on the
all that
wheel. I
stuff.
put like $2-3 grand of wheels in it and tires, and I did, and I had a full correction done, so that was like $700 back then. And I saw it, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's beautiful!" What? Like it was almost like I was in a haze. Like I
that?
did something that was cool. It was a fun video to make and that was when I was getting to know you, and it was awesome to be part of the videos, and it was a fun experience.
Not
And-
anymore.
No, it's
Now you know him
this
too
is-
well.
No, the podcast is great, and I know, I know it seems like him and I, we don't fight like it seems. I mean, yeah, we fought about 30 minutes before we even came on about something entirely different
I
that
don't
you'll
know.
hear about probably coming up soon.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'd say the off-screen and off-air relationship is very similar to the on-air relationship.
Well, after the other week where Courtney, Rob's wife, was here.
Oh, boy.
That
Then,
was the
then
best.
Rob's wife started texting me because the things that I was complaining about Rob, she knows about. So
Oh,
it
thanks.
was like his TV wife, which is me, and then that, the actual wife.
Literally.
They can both.
We both
you
had
guys
the
can
same-
both vent about Rob. It's
The,
perfect.
the weird things that the Robisms, the weird ticks that he has.
You will agree, we are very good friends off camera.
Yes,
We are very.
Yes.
We don't hate each other for the most part.
I think that's like that. I think it takes good friends to bicker
Absolutely.
and not have a problem.
You've done a lot for me in my life. I know this. I've done marginally things for you in your life. You know this. So it's a great relationship. It works. It's a deprecating relationship. We shit on each other a lot, but
what's
it was,
the next car?
All right,
Thank
next
you.
car. You're welcome. Jake, you okay? All right,
wish Jake had a Jake
This
mic
one,
again.
This one's fun for me because I didn't even know you had this.
Oh, yeah?
Most of your viewers probably didn't know you had this, and I'm mad.
I
'cause
may not remember.
well, then how
you
did
may
you
not
find out
even
about
remember
this?
having, because I did as much as you think I don't research any of this, I spent time watching old videos, and you mentioned this in a video. So this is his 1995 BMW M3 manual coupe in techno violet paint.
Oh.
This is listen to this. This is what he did. He bought the car with a bad head gasket. Beautiful car. I mean, we now know this color is probably one of the best colors you're going to find, other than Estoril blue. But so he paid $600 for this car.
$500 and then $100 for the auction fee. So yeah,
$600 and found out I had bad head gasket.
No,
and
they told me.
They told you.
So it was at the auction, and it was at this new dealer auction. It was the very first week for it, and these two guys brought this car, and it quit running as it was going through the block. So they pushed it through and didn't sell it. They chose not to sell it because the car conked out, and they thought that they just thought that let's just push it through and move on to the next car. And the consigners were in the office afterwards, furious. Why didn't you just get a number on it? We just wanted to sell it. And I'm standing there like, well, I'll buy it, because I was actually going in there to ask about it, like what was going on. And it's like, well, what do you want? I mean, it doesn't run. What's wrong with it? They said bad head gasket, but it should start. Like, okay, well, $500. Sure. Was done.
God, pre-COVID.
Right there.
Can you believe this?
Pre-COVID just kills me.
Like, Jake, even you have to be thinking, man, right?
No rust. Yeah. Factory techno violet car. The interior had all the BMW, the E36 chassis, BMW, the leather, you know, how it just turns to cardboard and falls apart.
Yeah.
So the interior was roached. I mean, not like roast, but just like this car has been outside for 10, 15 years, and the interior's weathered and gone. Paint was similar, but not faded and gross. And Bob, I bought this, and I'm like, what the hell do I do with this? I don't know anybody that can fix it at the time. And I tell Euro Asian Bob about it, and he is just all over it. I had no idea, and I thought he was going to fix it. He didn't fix it. He just drained all the water from it to where the water wasn't getting into the cylinders, to where the thing ran smooth, like hummed. Ran
I did not know this part.
That's a fix.
So this is that's the salvage yard you sold it to?
Euro Asian Bob.
It was Bob.
It was Bob.
It does make sense though if you browse the salvage yard.
So I knew Bob would want it, even if I couldn't figure out how to fix it. So I told Bob, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take it." He gets it. It's like, this thing isn't a parts car. Somebody would fix this. But by draining all the coolant out of it, it wasn't getting water into the cylinders to where, you know, you could drive it like a couple miles around the block or whatever, and it drove perfectly. So then I think he put it for sale for $3,500.
Oh no,
$4,500, something like that.
No.
And the people could come look at it, see, oh, it runs perfect, but it has no water in it because it needs a head gasket. So bought immediately. I think it's a father-son project. And so I gave him a car for $600. You know, he paid me what I paid for it, and then he made $3 or $4 grand on it.
Unbelievable.
Now, there's a lot. There's got to be if you ever do one of these videos, you got to do that where you're like, I gave the X car to Bob, and Bob then sold it for
there's probably
this amount of money. There's a lot of those.
Bob has dunked on me on so many cars.
There's a lot of
the
those.
Tesla Model S from Car Trek is another one.
Yes.
So I didn't want to sell that to anybody because the battery was a little wonky, and so I was willing to sell it cheaply, and Bob's like, oh, I'll just take it and run through the auction. And I think he made $7,000 running it through the auction, just as a wholesale piece. Because at the auction, you don't have to disclose anything.
Did you get a kickback?
No, I just
just ate $7 grand.
No, I was just.
I'm going to add that to the list.
Well, I was just disclosing what was going on.
Yeah, pencil that one in.
No, the model. I was just disclosing what was going on, and Bob just dumped it at the wholesale auction, which you don't have to disclose that at the wholesale auction. Nobody does. People need to do their due diligence and buy something, assuming worst case scenario when they take a risk. And it was one of the first Teslas to be sold through the auction in Wichita. So two idiots just bid the thing up.
No, you know what? Honestly, that gives me a good idea for the next one. Maybe I do wholesale auctions or something like that. Basically, something
as
to
a
that level.
subject. I thought you meant selling a car through.
Yeah, like basically the whole wholesale auctions and the tricks and the.
Yeah.
No, that car was the thing. It was high mileage. It was an early car, and it had everything else going on.
Bob's done very well. I think I got him a 20,000 mile DeLorean once for 30 grand.
Wow.
And that took a couple grand to get going. So I think he tripled up on that one.
So would you agree that you shouldn't have sold this one?
Which one? The
M3.
Technoviolent M3?
The
But I wasn't doing YouTube back then. I was a car dealer. I just needed to turn and burn cars. So I had no idea. I needed to move it along.
Looking back on it, you're like, wow, I would have liked to have kept that.
The crazy one is the Supra on this list.
No.
So, because Abdallah and I duked it out for a Toyota Supra, a Mark IV Supra that was a bank repo, turbo, left-hand drive.
Oh, I did not know
stick.
this one.
And then you
Didn't see
eventually
this.
did a video with him.
He still owns it to this day. He bought it. I was the underbidder. He got it for $4,500. I was $4,400.
On a Mark IV?
Mark
Yes.
IV,
What?
left-hand drive, turbo stick, factory Supra
What
with
year
a bad
was
motor.
this?
So this was about 20. I remember this was about maybe 2018, 2019. Because,
No, it was before that.
but
It
you
was
think
20, he was a child. He was like 16.
Okay,
or
I was going to say
15.
because you did make a video with it, and Supras were still had value,
Correct.
but it wasn't COVID value.
No, this was when they were not anything. It was probably 2012 or 13 when this happened.
Oh, I was going to say, I still swear it was like a $40,000-$50,000 Supra.
Yeah. No.
Unbelievable.
It was,
Yeah, had I
they
known
were
that,
worth
that
20,
would've-
30 grand.
Absolutely made
So
the
then,
list.
so then when you made a video with it, it was years later.
But I never owned it. That's the thing, because Abdallah outbid me on it, and I got ran up. I was like, but this thing doesn't run, and I don't know what can I do with it? So he got it.
Boy, that's a kick in yourself moment.
I called Bob afterwards and told him, and he was so mad because he didn't show up to the auction that week. At the time, he wasn't a full wheeler dealer yet. He was mostly focusing on his salvage yard, so he wasn't going to the auctions as diligently as I was. He was still doing like rebuilds and part outs and things. So when I told him about that, hey, there was a non-running Supra, and I got out at $4,400. What? It was.
Oh yeah,
and
I
it was
bet
and it was a real 2JZ car.
Yeah.
Oh my
2JZ
God.
turbo stick,
Goodness.
left-hand drive.
the last one of
gracious.
those for that price you'll ever find for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Ever.
Yep.
All right. So
Cool.
Anyway.
So there's one.
Well, yeah, number 3. Oh boy. This is we're just going to try to speed through this one, but it's not going to get sped through. That would be yours and everybody's 2000 Mercedes ML55 AMG. And hear me out. Yeah,
Sorry.
shut up. Hear me out as to why I put this on there. Sentimental value. This car has been through so much. So much. Forests. I mean, people, this was on the news.
It was stolen from
That's
me
the wrong,
at
yeah,
the
I had the
detail
wrong.
shop.
It wasn't in that.
No,
actually.
like I
Wasn't
said,
that
again,
episode.
let's
Wasn't in
not
that
go through that.
episode.
This wasn't.
Skip
It wasn't. But the
Good episode, but not that one.
giveaway. But the thing is, let's go through chronologically. You got it still early YouTube,
Correct.
early.
and it was one of those. If I recall correctly, one of those, hey, this is the forgotten performance SUV that everybody's sleeping on kind of a thing. And that did pretty well.
Videos did great.
But it skyrocketed when it
Right.
got stolen from the detailer. And like I said, it was local news. It was local Facebook news.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything.
There
it
was
was
a group.
Like, it
Well,
was.
A group was
I
made.
had 50,000 subscribers, and I was trying to pretend that I was some hotshot famous YouTuber that had his car stolen to where I could get on the news and find this car because it was so devastating. This thing was getting detailed to sell so I could get something else. And at the time, once again, I have one car loan, and then I have 2-3 cheapo cars to play with. This was very expensive to me, this $7,000-$8,000 ML55. And if it was just gone, because I had liability only insurance, and the reason I had liability only because the insurance rates for this were still ridiculously high considering it was an AMG ML. So it was
Makes sense.
$200 or $300 for 6 months versus $1,000 or something like that
Yeah.
back then. So I was really stuck, and so I fought to get this car back. It was a triumphant return to Cars and Coffee that day.
Oh, it really
Yeah.
was. And again, this is on the list for sentimental value because of the fact that my wife and I spent countless days and nights just driving around looking for it because it was being
Oh, that
spotted
part.
in
I
a
thought we were-
perfect. Oh, wow. It was being spotted in like a certain area constantly. So we would always go down there and try to find it. And I remember one time we actually did catch the end of police going after it, but they never could catch it. So
Yeah.
it was kind of an awesome thing.
I
You
remember.
know.
I remember Facebook updates back then, like because we
Well,
were.
and then you sold it to, I believe, somebody that was like on a production crew with a movie, and it ended up in a movie.
He lived near New Orleans, and at the time they were doing a lot of TV productions, so he was renting his cars to TV productions. So apparently there's a show like at NCIS New Orleans where this thing is the bad guy's car, and they get fake window shot out of it, which is
hey,
pretty
that's
cool.
where
It was cool.
the Tokyo Drift guys.
Yeah.
NCIS.
Yeah. So I bought it back when he was done with it, along with some other cars in it. I decided to throw it in with my Christmas special. I think, is that the last Christmas special I did?
It was.
I believe
I
it
think
was.
it was.
Yes.
And the Christmas special did not do very well, unlike the ones in years past, where I was giving away cars, but it was sort of a Price is Right themed. Most ambitious undertaking for me to do a video ever, not like as a car trick or something like that. And then the edit, I probably had 40 hours into the edit, and
my
it was
God.
it was so much work. And obviously, I gave away this and 4 other cars, probably totaling $25,000 in value.
That pack of cars was really nice.
really
you get the manual C series that I went with you to buy. C series.
I think Leonard's was
C-Class.
the only one that was kind of a.
And
Turd,
yeah,
the E300 diesel.
Potter kept that that S-Class for a while.
But that E300 was neat because somebody swapped over a whole E55 body kit on that thing.
that was cool.
It was neat. And he left the sunroof open or whatever, and electronically it got messed up. But
think
it was,
so.
It was actually a good car.
That's every European car, maybe ever.
Right.
So
So
of all the people that won that, it would be yours truly that won that car.
yeah.
yeah.
And then I had it.
This is why I rolled my eyes because I thought you were talking about you and your wife spending countless nights in the car just enjoying it.
Rob
No.
really ticked me off.
Yeah, and so this is where I admit that I failed Tyler.
So
I'll admit it.
What Rob could have done, he parked it in his mother's garage and let the battery go dead and let the thing rot under $3,000 worth of work, maybe $2,000 in suspension and the front. I think the front axle mount or
There
something.
was something in the differential. I
front
think.
diff mount or something like that. $2,000 to $3,000 worth of work, and it would have been a $7,000 to $8,000 car. And he just sells it as is to Lauer for like $1,000.
$250, but
Oh, God.
It wasn't
And
that- it wasn't that low.
doesn't even ask me to say, hey, do you want it back? Hey, I'm getting ready to sell it. He just impulsively dumps it to Lauer for $2,000, $1,000, something like
it
that.
was $2,000.
$2,000.
Now I will say. The reason
Lauer's
why I
a car
put this
dealer,
on the
by the way.
list, there's 2 reasons. Number 1 was sentimental value, and number 2 was a way to actually say on camera that I fucked up. This one I fucked up. There's
time.
ones that I didn't, the Mustang, but this one I kind of did because of the fact that it had been a while and I didn't reach out, knowing the history it had with you, and I know it had some sentimental value to you too. You know, it certainly did.
Right. So I blocked him on Facebook. I blocked him
you,
everywhere
Jake.
because he did this with the Mustang, which really ticked me off.
Oh, my
And because
God.
he sold it to the same guy, Lauer, his dad. It
literally
was
just
the perfect
apologized.
fastback '66 Mustang that I
apology. I gave
wanted.
him
I
an
told him I
apology.
wanted
Here
it.
it goes.
And then
Here we go, down the hill.
which I'd let that go. I hadn't blocked
Do
you
you have
from
any
that.
music, Jake? Can you get some music for this while we
But
go?
then the ML to sell it to Lauer again
Sad, just some
for
violin, just
$2,000.
something that makes Oh my god!
And then
Thank you.
Lauer fixes the minimum amount. Like he's able to fix it cheaper because they have a mechanic shop in house and all that stuff. And then it's listed for $7,000. And it's just like, not only is it just like, hey, I would have bought it back for the content and fixed it for the 3rd time because this is like an Icon Hoovie's garage car. But also, why would you take this thing that I gave you and then throw it away like garbage? And it personally hurt.
I
Because you
know.
basically threw it away for what that thing was worth as a parts car pricing, and it really hurt my feelings.
I think that's valid, and that's why it's on here. This is an apology from me to you, saying I'm sorry that I did that. I realized how sentimental when I went back and watched the videos. It reminded me of all the things that we did to try to get that car back. You know, hell, that car went to Colorado with us. You know, it was like there was a lot of stuff that we did together as friends that this car was a part of. And yeah, I failed you on that. So it is an honest apology. This is not me being a smartass or me being a dick. An honest, sincere apology for.
And it's more interesting than your current Cayenne, and it would have been way cheaper to run than your current
Apparently
Cayenne.
now it will be. Yeah, it wouldn't have been up until a couple weeks ago, but yes.
Right.
So, but
Well, you had,
the
you had
good
to buy
news
the,
is,
you had to buy the Cayenne for $15,000-$16,000.
yeah, 16 too.
The ML was free, and you sold it for $2,000.
I mean,
And that ML55
This
is faster.
No,
oh no, not that
no.
it's a GTS. You've
Yeah,
got.
it's a
yeah.
GTS. It's not
GTS.
faster.
So the
No, the
ML55
GTS
was
is faster.
300 and
This one's 400, so it's
400?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's faster, but
I think it would have hung.
it probably would have hung. That thing was deceptively quick.
Yes.
So no,
Oh,
but there
how
is-
many times did you try it?
Well, shut up.
Okay,
So
I was just.
you don't help.
I was just.
I'm apologizing. I'm being vulnerable.
I
here,
know, and I'm
this
letting you
is
have your
what-
moment. Sorry.
I was having my moment, and I hope you really do, understand and realize that I was not doing this as a bit, but I actually really feel bad about that one.
Thank you.
but-
I unblocked you, obviously, and we started the
How
podcast.
long did you block me for?
I don't know, a week, something like that.
Yeah,
30 minutes.
Oh,
30 minutes?
see, that was less
30
time
minutes.
than I got.
Yeah, you got it way longer.
I got a long time.
Oh my God, yeah, 30 minutes, and that shows how tight our friendship is. He could not go 30 minutes without unblocking.
Well, I
me.
wish I could say why I blocked
I
Elliot.
know. Meanwhile, he
Because
could live
everybody in the
without
world
me.
would block Elliot for what he did.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go.
I
Let's
didn't
go back
betray
to
the friendship group
No,
or
you did
anything. I
not.
just made a
Everybody-
bad decision.
Everybody in this inner circle is fine.
Anyway,
So no,
we're
but
fine.
This,
We
this,
have a podcast together. We're all friends.
yeah. Before this, it unravels completely.
My daughter pooped in your pool.
It
Yeah.
makes it no, because it makes me look like a guy that blocks people. I guess
You're
I
not.
blocked Jake too, didn't he? When he
Yeah.
called me, so I blocked.
Everybody in this room
You
has been
do.
blocked.
You do use you use a real life band hammer.
It is a real life band hammer. But I mean, look at us. We are probably
I
three of
blocked
his
Jake a
closer
long time
friends.
ago when he tried to defend me by calling me an awkward asshole or something like that.
No, it was
He only
it
comes
was an
off as-
It was an
asshole.
awkward asshole. Yeah, you did
Comes
say
off
that.
as an awkward asshole, but he's not really.
He's a nice guy. He just
See,
comes off
that
as
makes
an
me
awkward
feel.
asshole.
Thank you, Jake. I feel a little better. But no, let's fit back to this. There's a happy ending.
But
with
Elliot's
this car.
is about his love life. Just,
Oh,
let's just
no,
leave,
no, no,
we'll leave
no,
it
no,
at
no.
we'll leave it
The
at
cars-
that.
cars
It's about his
technically has nothing to do
tumultuous
with you.
love life.
Remember when he said he had a happy relationship? Let's make sure that stays intact.
She's aware
Well,
of
I
this.
assume she knows what.
She knows what
Okay.
happened.
like
yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
She's very accepting.
good for honesty.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
Anyway.
yeah, he pooped in her pool, but
I pooped
okay,
in her pool.
So this thing had a happy ending. It's actually owned now by two wonderful dudes that came out to Cars and Cockpits the other day.
Yeah, I
got
remember.
to meet them. They were really sad that you weren't there. They really wanted to meet you. They have like 19 or 20 cars. Couldn't be two of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. The car is beautiful now. Like they have done really wonderful things with it. So it's ended up in a place that it's getting love and care, not flipped or stored in somebody's Italian mother's garage to rot.
Right.
Before we
So-
move on, real quick, just a quick question: if you could have like the first 3 cars that really made it big, like the Silver Elephant, this, and the Phantom, and just never sell them, just because of the milestones that they represented for the channel.
I wouldn't want the Phantom or the Silver or the S600 back. Honestly,
okay,
no.
but you would want the ML55 back.
The ML55 is one that I
I'm
would,
surprised that this of the 3 that I figured the S class's impact on the channel would have, even just for
I sold that to Freddie. I saw it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, that was just a one-off weird video. It wasn't like a series. It was something that I already had before.
Did it
YouTube.
trend? It trended on YouTube?
Yeah,
Is that what
it
did
was
it?
Super Bowl Sunday, and I was looking at the phone. And I was like, how am I getting 1,000 views a minute on Super Bowl Sunday 5 days after it posted? And before, like, I would get 1,000 views maybe an hour, and I was getting 1,000 views a minute. And it was, what is happening? It was my first viral video ever. And it was just, I thought something was broken. I kept looking. It's like, something's broken. And it was wild.
Anyway,
yeah.
I just wondered if of the first like 3 that I would say were big.
Yeah.
Well, the Rolls Royce, that almost made the list.
I have-
I was real close.
The Rolls Royces have depreciated a lot since then, and they're
It
tough
has.
to run. But I'd have the NSX back probably before
Okay.
the. If I was having something, I would have the NSX back and the ML55 of the early ones. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I'm not doing so bad.
Yep.
no.
Okay,
yeah.
so the next one, I'm going to start this out with a quiz for you. I'm going to tell you what you said about this
Okay.
in your video, and you tell me what car this was.
All right.
At the time, and this is really awesome because of where you are right now, it was a really neat quote. You said, and I quote, "I know 32 is 82 in YouTube years, and when I turn 40, nobody is still going to be interested in me buying cheap, broken hoopties." In your video, which is amazing at the fact that everybody wants you to still buy cheap.
Are you
broken
talking about my
hoopties.
Buick Park Avenue Ultra?
It's not.
Huh. What? When
that's
was
interesting.
this? How
This
many years
would have
ago?
been
I'm 32, so this
would have been 12. Hold on. I
this
know.
is 7 years ago.
No, this would have
7
been
or 6 years ago.
2017,
17, 18?
18.
Yes,
Cheap,
this is
broken hoopties.
cheap. And what a quote. I know 32 is 82 in YouTube years, and when I turn 40, nobody is still going to be interested in me buying cheap,
Boy.
broken hoopties.
And,
Well, I
since then, we've seen the rise and me buying the supercar of the month, say in 2022, where that all peaked, to where I am now buying a $300 Plymouth Voyager.
and sure enough, you're almost 40, and now you're need to buy cheap, broken hoopties.
And it's interesting that people are still interested. I will say this as what he's not going to say. I don't remember quotes from my own freaking videos.
no,
So
but that's a
what-
pretty good quote.
What car was this?
This
No,
was your,
it's a misleading one.
yeah, it is. This was your 2004 Lamborghini Gallardo 6-speed manual with 4,000 original miles on it.
Oh.
Your beautiful blue Gallardo.
Because I was making fun of everybody, every
You were.
YouTuber buying that.
Yes,
Like
you
this
were.
is the gateway drug for every YouTuber to get into an exotic.
And it also was yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you traded your...
Well, I had the 355.
Yeah, true,
I had,
true,
I had
true.
348.
But you
I
traded
had-
your MP412C for this, if I recall.
That was the best move I ever made. Yes.
That was
Absolutely.
a smart. The
Absolutely.
MP4, it's a
That thing would
ticking
have
time bomb.
bankrupted you
It was
immediately.
a time bomb before he bought it. It had the transmission replaced.
1 engine, 2 transmissions at 30,000 miles. That
Nuts.
car. and the underneath the hood. It was corroding under the hood. The headlights, rust bubbles. The headlights were delaminating and failing. This is a garaged car. How does this happen? The iris infotainment, weird. I mean, wild. How unreliable that car was.
It's horrible. Yeah, and that one would never even be near the list. But
no,
I put this one on the list because first off, you can't really replace it for what you probably sold it for.
I bought it because I traded this one off too, didn't I? No, I did sell it to somebody. And I don't think. Yeah, it was a guy that was very excited to buy it. So it was 8,000 original miles. That's the crazy part.
Right, and some guy came and got it. I believe, from Wichita.
And I think in Texas. So I bought it with 6,000, then sold it with 8,000 miles, and I think I sold it for 125. Something like that.
And now you can't even get one for like 180.
Not a gated car.
With those miles.
For that miles, yeah. You can definitely find one with miles for around 100, like if they're 40, 50,000 miles.
Especially in 04, because there's something that happened between 04 and 05 where everyone's like, 04 is bleh. And I'm not seasoned enough to know something about the 04s, even the gated cars.
Maybe.
It's around 500.
But it was a little less, I think.
There's something about 04.
There's something that they say is more unreliable about them, which is not
the other thing about this, and it's funny because this is the thumbnail you pulled up. Another good thing that this did for you was this also put you on the news again.
You did.
Oh, because I got pulled over.
You got pulled over in it, which there's a picture in there somewhere.
I got pulled over. The day that I brought it home and was making this video, and I changed into my old man pants.
Right, and you had the silly hair dye and everything.
I had hair dye, and I didn't bring. I didn't put my wallet.
Was so not pleased.
I didn't put my wallet in my pants.
Oh, man. So,
there was a whole thing, and he was very no nonsense. And I guess the cops that talked to me afterwards about it was like, this guy, I've never seen him smile or laugh or any of that kind of stuff. So no sense of humor about it at all. Very professional. For a cop, I would say that's a okay personality to have where you're, as long as he's not tasing people or it was just very flat professional.
Hall monitor type energy.
Exactly.
Okay. And this one's on the list because of the fact that this is a collector's piece. You're sub 10K miles. You're gated manual. I feel like this is only going to go up more and more and more. I think this could get into the low twos.
Many of them. They made so many of them.
But with that little mileage, though, and that color, that's a nice color combo.
If it stays that low mileage, I think, yes.
Yeah. This is one you could have always kept in the bank as a
good dude.
You would never lose money on.
Are you going through all the Lambos? Because this over the Mercy?
No, that's what I wanted to put on there.
This over the VT Roadster? This over the Countach?
So I put this over the Countach and over the VT Roadster. Yes, for me. The Countach, I don't know. I don't know if it's still going to continue. It probably will.
I think
it still is, but I think it's going to find. I don't know. I feel like it might get to a plateau.
Yeah.
The plateau's not there yet because they're the 25th starting to hit $1 million for no mile ones.
That was the poster card that we had. Now the younger group that's coming up with money eventually is going to be that. Maybe it could be.
No, it already is that.
Well, I guess it already is.
Then it would be a Murcielago because the production numbers are much lower.
So I know it's not on the list. The Mercy was the one for me. I actually advised Rob to not put the Countach and the VT on here because you bought them so well and sold them so well that I don't even think you could classify them as a regret.
Right.
Yeah, you made you literally that bankrolled you into a whole new level.
I would say that like I said, we're not going to disclose numbers at all, but it's just one of those things where you're like, they were great.
$250,000 for both.
Okay, well, I thought you hadn't.
You buy one, get one free.
Either way, the point was you bought them so well, you did enjoy them, and you did make videos with them, and you made out so well that it's like it would be almost stupid to have kept them.
Right. They both needed tires, and the Countach I spent less than $5,000, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
And the VT Roadster still had that weird humming harmonic resonance thing out of something. Replaced the whole exhaust, the headers, so many things, and we just couldn't track it down. And I got frustrated and sold it after, I don't know, $30,000 spent, but sold it for $300,000.
Right, but it was a great car because you bought it pretty cheap, knowing it had a problem.
Yeah,
and it made great content because it got to cut a hole in it and all this. It was great. And I still maintain of all the cars that was like always my favorite car that you had other than the SLR. It's like that and the SLR like.
Of all the Lamborghinis, I want a Murcielago again. I just don't want a stupid Roadster with that horrible toupee top.
I
just no. The thing is fiddling with the top. I think with the amount of cars and stuff that you have now and stuff, it's just like I tell every exotic car buyer and stuff like that. They go, "Well, the top doesn't work. Never put it on. Drive it when it's nice."
Okay,
look at it at Mako.
But you're in Kansas where
and
it
it's
is
a fuzzy
lobster
picture.
boil.
I know,
or way too cold, and then the toupee is a pain in the butt, hideous, loud. So the VT Roadster, much more elegant in the fact
and
we're
easier. You can just pop the thing on and off.
Yeah, I would get one of these in a coupe in a second.
I know you're pondering one.
I would
You
like
had-
one.
yeah, you were.
And now that the gated manual conversions are really taking off on these, someday maybe I'll find a very very hoopty version and do it again.
Like I said, I just thought it. The only thing I'll say is with the top off, the Roadster Murcielago looks that much more wild than the coupe.
With
the
it off.
style, with it off because of the styling of what they did with the rear. Instead of making the slatted rear step down window, they did this really cool engine cover deal, and with the bat wings, I just think it is one of the craziest, coolest. It's the most quintessential Lamborghini.
I do love the axle lift is up.
I just
in that
didn't-
picture.
I didn't-
That is
That's
funny.
great.
I didn't want to roast in it in the summertime.
Yeah, I get it.
I didn't want to take it
I get
anywhere
it.
because like on a trip or something like that, because then I had to fiddle with that top thing and take it apart and roll it into the front, which I was never going to do. So I couldn't like, if there's any chance of rain or whatever, because I'm taking and parking it wherever for a movie or something like that. It was not.
I
didn't
helped
like it.
you put it on, I believe, twice, and every time I was like, all right, what's the next part of this?
It made me so angry
you were
every
like,
time.
There were snaps. It was like worse than a boat cover.
Yes.
Which you put on once a year. It was seriously, you're stretching stuff and trying to snap stuff
There's
in place
snaps
that
and
didn't wanna go.
Velcro and clips
A lot of work for just a little
and
piece of
the
cloth.
little tube things.
Yes,
the-
and for something that even
support
Lamborghini
brackets.
themselves are like, do not exceed, I think it's like 100 miles an hour or this will blow off. And you're like, well, that's the whole point of this car.
yeah.
Okay, so
Anyway, sorry.
Next on the list of now 9 cars that Hoovie never should have sold. We'll just cue this one up. I'm going to. I don't want to. This one's pretty simple. It is the Ferrari F355. Now, Jake, I just want to direct you to the screen. Jake, there should be one F355 picture.
Is there a
Are you talking about the yellow one?
No, the black one, and the screen will explain it.
why? So why?
Hold on.
All right, no, I'll
Just
let you,
listen,
I'll let
you
you
gotta
ride
hear
on
me
this
out,
one.
okay?
I'm gonna let you ride on this one.
Is it not in there? Did it not upload?
I shouldn't have sold it to Tavares.
Hold on. No, hold on. There's.
You shouldn't have bought it
not in
back from
there?
the insurance
It's on
company.
my side.
Well, let's not leave people hanging here.
Well,
Unless
no,
you're
just
thinking
keep
of doing
talking
a
because
jump cut.
there's
Okay, yeah,
people
no.
that are not visual listeners.
Yeah,
There's
no.
Spotify
Basically,
podcast
it's
people.
your Ferrari F355. It was a meme that says Hoovie burned it down, and now we're going to number 6. That's it. Wasn't really on the
I
list.
see. You're just doing it for fun. Because
Yes, it was just for fun. It was just for fun, but the picture didn't load.
the
So.
355s have not shot.
No.
The
No.
spiders have not shot up to the moon at
No,
all.
no, it hasn't. No, it was just for fun. But the picture didn't come up.
Yeah.
So that's a duck.
Okay.
And that's okay. That would be a fail. So number 6. This one I think you'll probably argue a little bit. This one's another one personal to me just because it was just so cool to me. And there it was. Hoovie burned it down. That was it. That was going to be it. And we're going to the next. Thank you, Jake.
We argue every week about
We do.
that.
We do.
so-
That's why I
it
needed to
gets-
slip it in there somewhere.
Early in the podcast, we thought the Stang Bang was going to be mentioned every podcast.
No,
No,
it's
it's
that.
the Ferrari 355
Just went that way.
every time.
Number 6. That is your, and I'll have to say it right because I don't say it as good as you do, but it is your GMC Typhoon.
Typhoon.
In teal.
The Typhoon.
The teal Typhoon.
Yeah.
This is what I put on the list because I don't ever see them anywhere. They are very expensive now.
Yes.
It's just so cool, so retro cool. It's something you can have in your garage that even if you put it up here with all of these cars,
yes.
your average person would immediately go over to it and be like, I want that.
I had a Typhoon and a Cyclone.
You did?
Because I had on the other show. So he chose the Typhoon, the teal Typhoon. 101,000 miles, bought it for $9,999. Sold it for $14,000. Didn't spend a whole lot of money on it. And here's the thing. It's fun, the acceleration. Like you power brake it and launch
It's
it.
a 0 to 40 thrill.
Really fun. It is an 80s S10 Blazer cheap interior. It is not anything exciting in any of that kind of sense at all. Very rare with the color. It's probably worth $30,000 now. That's that rare color Typhoon in that condition. I would guess probably $30,000. The Cyclone was the other one that I sold it at Barrett Jackson. And I don't know what the heck happened because there hasn't been one that sold for under $30,000 in a Cyclone for years. And I took it to Barrett Jackson and it sold for 20 or something like that after I spent a bunch of money.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh.
was with you when
Really?
you bought that one, and that was a car issues car.
That was
I
a car
believe.
issues Motor Trend car. So
Yeah.
but on the whole, as far as all the cars that I brought, that's the thing when you go and sell a collector car auction, when you bring multiple cars, it's nice because there's ones that completely blow your mind. Like I set a record that day for a Mazda Miata.
Yeah.
Like a world record for a 90 Mazda Miata. So I couldn't be mad when the Cyclone sells for 10 grand short.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some on that. But
Right.
yeah, that Miata was insane.
Yeah.
No,
But this is on the list because of the fact that it's attainably cool. You didn't pay much for it. It was, I mean, you could take the kids around in it, and you can literally at any car show you go to show up in that, and it's just, it's almost in a sense it draws people. It always draws people. It's one of those ones that now are you going to pay $40,000, $38,000
I think 30
to
with
have it back?
101,000 miles in that condition, probably.
But I mean, you paid what for it again?
$9,990.
Yeah, I mean, it's another one of those cars. At this point, you were doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So you could have easily stashed it away, and it would.
Well,
you'd still probably want to drive that.
But
I think.
the one that I like and the one that I still have is the Lightning, the second gen Ford
That
Lightning.
hasn't moved since I met
And the thing
you.
is, if for folks on camera, we point up because it's in the I'm not driving it position.
Yeah,
on the
it's
left.
literally in the.
It's coming down soon, and I'm going to start driving it. I'm going to sort of rotate things around. The reason why it's up high is because it's tall. It can't sit lower because it would hit
the
on
top.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm
Good
going to
point.
rotate around and bring things down. But yeah,
I wanted to add in a little bit on this from all three of us. We were all three at Monterey for this one because you got it
We sure
delivered
were.
in
Yes.
San Fran, I believe.
Yes.
And then so we all got to mess with this one kind of together. I remember we went to an AutoZone to fix one of the switches on it or something like that, and they were being stingy about the tools. You know, it was
because I wanted the air conditioning to
Yeah.
work. Like
Absolutely.
something failed on it where it was an easy fix, and it was very hot that year. That was
Yes.
and that was the best Airbnb we had.
Oh
That
my
was
God,
such a
that
cool
was the
Airbnb.
best.
right by Laguna Seca, this
yep.
house.
We
I mean,
could watch the cars drive by from the fence. I remember spending hours out
yeah,
there.
you could hear
We
'em.
sat
It
on the
was
fence
beautiful.
and just watched the most incredible cars drive by.
and
What
it
a
had
trip.
plenty of bedrooms and they're like a bunk area. And I think the split for everybody for that whole thing was under $500.
Nothing.
Wasn't
It was well under that. It was
nothing.
under
It was
400. It was like
amazing.
310.
Me and Rob had I want to say a 4 a.m. flight, and we spent the entire time talking about cars because
man,
this
it
was
was
the year
great.
that Rob wanted to buy a car in Monterey, and we did.
We did. We actually did.
But
What
it
a
was
car,
just
too.
it was such a trip. So yeah, it was just like I said. I have memories of that. That brings in that trip,
And that was one of the best trips I've ever taken. That we had the most fun. You know, this was that the second year, or was that the first?
I've gone
It was
so
the
many years, but
second.
as far as
I
I think
you
it was
guys
our
go.
second
But
year.
it was
but
the biggest group we've ever gone with.
At the first year, we got that weird condo far away. I
Oh
think.
yeah, in Watsonville.
Yeah,
that's
this,
right.
this was a huge group.
Yeah.
But
And-
this is
yeah.
But come back to this. This is a car that at $9,000. My God.
yeah.
Like if
Well,
I
it
could
was a
find one of
no-brainer.
those for $9 now, my wife would. You know, she's teal everything.
Yeah.
She would pimp the hell out of that.
It's fun to do that acceleration and all that stuff. It's just not a fun driving experience, in my opinion. And maybe because that one's 101,000 miles and needed all like maybe some suspension, that kind of stuff is all kind
looser
of looser
than-
and
yeah.
tired.
just
and
a special combo. to me.
but it didn't feel special like that Lightning.
Does it really?
feel-
I've never driven
So-
either one, so I don't know.
So that's the supercharged 5.4 liter with a side pipe exhaust. So the noises that thing makes, it's awesome, and then it actually handles really well. Like it's
I love
fun.
that, but it's the '90s Ford automatic that
Yeah.
detracts.
That's a 80s Chevy automatic.
Fair. Are
Yeah.
the Lightning still sub 20? Or no?
Yeah,
Maybe.
for one with miles.
Higher mile.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Rob's like, all right, checking marketplace
Yeah,
later.
no, I'm broke.
Oh, whatever.
Cayenne-
Mr.
Oof.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
okay,
not
fair.
great.
Never mind.
Okay, number 7. We're gonna go over this one quickly because we just went over it 3 minutes ago. That is your 2006 Lamborghini Murcielago.
Oh, you
Okay.
did add it to the
I
list.
did have it on
I
the
thought
list.
you were
It was
telling
on
me
the list
no.
because this car also had a lot of fun. We've the Eureka trip, or was it Grand Lake?
Grand Lake.
Grand
when we all
Sorry.
went. Yeah.
It was just such a great car, such a great spec, like a great story. The stuff you did with the Wizard, where the Wizard modified it. I mean, there's so many cool things around this. You know, you bought it. I think you paid what in the 80s or 90s?
99,000.
What was it?
And this
From
was
Ed
an Ed
Wow,
Bullion.
Ed
This
made
was
that much off you
Ed
because
Bullion made 30 grand off of me.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
He was a middleman.
when you told me
Had
you
it for a
got it
day.
for sub 100, or not me, you told in the video you said sub
Yeah.
100. I was like, okay, maybe 90
Because
because you're
look
trying
at
to
this picture.
with
It's
an-
old Hoovie's garage.
It is.
Look, the
Look.
Typhoon.
Yeah.
Oh
The-
yeah, like what
the Gallardo.
The
Yeah, on the
Gallardo
list.
and the Phantom.
Yeah.
It's almost like I took this one picture and was like, I'll just pick these cars. And just was like, all right,
Right.
that's what we're going to do here. And I did not. I actually researched this quite well because I wanted to have a mix. I didn't want it to be all, I'm going to say the SLS is not on this list. I love that car. But I didn't want to have all.
Those appreciated.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and I
it's a cool
think
car.
I didn't want it to be all supercars, hypercars. I wanted it to be a mix of everything. But the Murcielago, I mean, you did pay under 100,000 for it, so sub 100K V12 Lamborghini. Like, you're not going to ever get that
With
ever.
an exploded transmission.
With an exploded transmission.
Even with that, I don't think you could touch that number today.
no.
But now I was thinking Ed did you a solid. So I was thinking, well, sub 100.
Well,
he paid what, 65?
It was some desperate idiot that agreed to $60,000. That wasn't
Right.
well, 670 or whatever it was. Yeah.
But I was thinking, okay, sub 100, he's got to be probably, and Ed paid 65. It's got to be 90. I would never thought it was like 99, 9.99, and
Right.
99 cents.
Right.
Which is probably what it was.
He's a shrewd negotiator.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
Yeah.
I have his bourbon that says it right on it.
Exactly.
Speaking of bourbon, I'd like to point this one out because we don't carry this. This is one, it's called Route 66.
You don't carry it yet.
So it is apparently a bourbon that is a blend of bourbons from 8 other states that
Yes,
the Route
the 8
66
states
encapsulates.
of- yeah, sorry.
So if anybody's had this, we are thinking about carrying it as a distributor in Kansas. If you've tried it, you like it, mention it in the comments. I know you guys like to talk about what we drink here. So I think it's kind of fun. We are probably going to bring it in off the label alone, I would think.
Yep.
But if you guys have any experience with it, let me know if you guys liked it, if you've seen it, or maybe it's just brand new. We don't even know pricing on it. It came down last night. So it'll be one that we'll get to try as a group tomorrow. So we're getting like an early preview of this.
As they also brought nice pick on car theme and bourbon.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, trying to mix
it's
it up.
all
I don't drink.
You don't. I know. I kid. Well, you're not even
I see the comments that people like this, so I understand.
There is something to it. All right,
Yeah.
number. What
Yeah,
the
the Lambo. I think I sold it for 160,000.
I understand why you sold it.
Yeah,
Did you sell it for that much?
yeah.
That's what they're
so
worth.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's barely hanging on the list.
Well, no,
I mean,
so
it-
we're not doing a losing money, gaining money
No,
thing.
I guess not. But I
I
mean,
just like this because this is like checks, I think literally all of my boxes.
it really
Yeah.
does.
Well, I think the dealer, because Dan Normal Guy Supercar, he put it on Cars and Bids and all this. I think he didn't make much money. I think he made like 170 or something. What he sold it for.
I remember
which-
watching
yeah.
it, but of course I watched it. Don't remember what it sold for.
And then it found its way to another shop that was just blasting all the work that was done on it, and then it turned into this big feud between the car wizard and this other shop because they didn't realize that I had directed the wizard to just cobble this thing together, not like fix it properly because we weren't going to spend tens of thousands of dollars. And I don't think, but it sort of got. It's funny how a story, I disclose all these things to the dealer. The dealer that discloses all these things to the next owner. The next owner chooses not to disclose any of it, and then sells it to the next person who, of course, doesn't know. So then it starts over again. Like, what is this piece of junk? But it goes to an unscrupulous person that doesn't mention any of the negatives and flips it for the big money.
Expensive game of telephone
Right. Very, very.
is what I would
So
call
yeah, we've already kind of talked about it when we were talking about the other one. I think it belongs on the list. It is, it's a special car.
I agree. I think it's just cool.
Not gonna be able to get it back, for what you paid for it, obviously.
No, but I would get a coupe again.
And I don't blame you because the toupe is.
And I'll disagree with you on that forever.
No, you're a
but,
Target. You're a Target guy.
Yeah. No, it's drive your supercars when it's nice or tough it out and put the heat on.
No, I can't argue that. Okay. Number 8. This one's probably a little bit less so. This one's more personal to me just because I love the car. This one did go to Eureka Springs. This one also went through a drive-through petting zoo, which was really awesome.
Yeah.
And that is your 1994 Ferrari 456
No.
GT.
Oh, really?
No.
This is a shocker for me, Rob.
I thought you were going to pick the 996 Turbo.
No.
I also that's why I thought you were
No.
going with that.
No, there's a million 996 turbos for sale right now.
But I bought the 996 Turbo for $33,000.
But we're not talking
You
about it.
couldn't
He just
touch
said
one for that.
He just said 2 minutes ago this list isn't about what you made money off of it.
That's one. I want the 996 Turbo back so bad. So bad.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But
the 456. What a,
you
like,
didn't do much with that turbo though. There wasn't a lot of videos about it.
no, because it was
kind
just
of
so
it was-
good.
So I didn't really feel like it was,
I took the engine out of it. Wait, blew the
did.
coolant pipes on the track and did that.
You did. Well, your
Fair,
track
fair,
video
fair.
did nothing, but then all your track videos.
Yeah,
I know.
but
Every time
nobody
he
wants to
has
watch-
fun and adventures.
Yeah, anytime you do something exciting and like dangerous, people are like next.
Yeah.
Which I hate that.
the list of cars still keeps piling up in the background
Oh,
of these
I
photos.
didn't notice that.
It's
Oh my
seriously, it's
God,
just
it's
like
awesome.
The
anyway.
Rapide, the
Remember when we talked
Prowler.
about that? Let's chat a layer.
Let's go back
in
to
front
that.
of that one.
But here's why I have this one.
Yeah, I
First
wanna hear
off,
about
I
this.
think the story's awesome. It came from Dubai, I believe, or it was we rebuilt in Dubai and came from Japan. Is that right? It's Japanese import.
Japan showed up to Dubai and it got rear-ended, so it was fixed. It was a crash car that was fixed in the rear. I think they just sort of swapped over all the quarter panels and the rear glass and all that stuff. And then the motor went, and they rebuilt the motor in
Rebuilt the
Dubai
motor.
because it was such low miles and it sat for so long that the motor went. So they rebuilt it there, and it was not quality work.
No, but you got it for a good price, if I recall, didn't you? Or did you
50,000.
50,000. Okay, and for a
this
gated
was,
manual,
also originally a car trek car.
Correct.
So
it was, and it's a rare color, rare combo, very rare combo.
a lot of these were 456As.
Yes.
Which was their whole thing because they're like, oh, we have a family car with a torque converter automatic.
Was it who made the automatic? Was it domestic? Didn't they just throw
I
like
don't know. It might as well be a GM.
Yeah, it wasn't
torque
great,
flight.
and it might have been.
But the point is, there were a lot of A's.
Yeah, there were a lot of A's. There were not a lot of gated manuals. And these, unfortunately, I'm going to lose the argument, but I'm okay with losing the argument because I know that these haven't even appreciated much. Some of them are still fetching with gated manuals under sub 100, which is, not great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Danielson. So
Did he buy it?
No, he did the
fixed
video because he did all the work.
He did the work.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, he buy it. No, but it was an awesome spec car. You could put, at the time, Ellie in the back, and you go blast to Eureka Springs and all sorts of really cool things you could do in it. You told me yourself that it was like I remember thinking, there's no way that's comfortable, like on the road, like on the highway. And you were like, this thing is like rides like a cushion if you want it to. Like it was super comfortable to drive out there. It was a really good experience. It's rare, and it's a rare car, and it's a manual. I think
it's great that it has a back seat. That's what made it so usable for me.
But it also was a gated and is a gated manual V12 Ferrari under 100K. How much longer can it go till that's not the case? At some point.
I wouldn't want that one back.
Well, maybe not that one because it blew up.
No, because it was a fine car when I sold it. It's just the white Testarossa for $80,000. The Miami Vice spec Testarossa for $80,000.
The first one, but the old house.
That one would have been was way up on the list. But the problem was you never really owned it because the title never.
Right,
but
I could have stuck it out, and because the title did get fixed, I could have stuck it out. But the video didn't do well.
No,
so couldn't justify it. So
I was eager to send it back because once again I was going to the next level, and this was about an $80,000 car, and it was all that I could afford as far as a loan at the time, as far as the payments. And then it didn't do much above average. It wasn't like a big splash. It was like, oh crap. And then there's a title issue, and the guy offered to take it back. So I eagerly agreed. But if there was one Ferrari, it beat the 348. The
black one with the and that was really close to making the list as well. But
wow. I thought you kind of, that one wasn't even a time of desperation. You kind of just let that one go.
I did because I had the yellow 355.
Brent got it.
Yeah,
it went to a friend.
Well, let's go. Brent who runs the production company that does our car trek. He really wanted it, and I felt good about it going to a good home because he just said, I really want that car. And at the time, I was excited about the yellow 355, the rock spec 355 Spider, and thought, okay, I'm going to get in that every time and not get in the 348. So I'm going to send it off to a good home. I regretted it. But he didn't keep it for very long, like 6 months. And at the time, it wasn't gone long enough for me.
It was not that long.
It wasn't gone long enough for me to want it back.
Okay.
And now that we're a couple of years later, like that is the car where it's like, it always started, hopped in, ran it through gears. That Capristo exhaust was running it to 60 miles an hour, and the noises it was making is just incredible.
Oh, I can promise you one post of Ferrari chat, and we'll find it.
No, I think
it's unique enough. Basically, it's a 348 with arcade carpet
with miles. The thing is, for me, the 355 is always going to give me more wood than the 348. But I think that this is the most channel lore appropriate Ferrari they've ever had. It was like, it was high mileage, which is unheard of for any Ferrari. And it was like, you were like, it's high mileage. It's already been fixed with plywood and carpet and weird stuff. I'm just going to make it 90s cool. I think it was the most, like I said, lore appropriate channel hoopty Ferrari.
I flew out, bought it, and drove it home from Florida too.
It's a long damn drive, by the way. If you guys aren't familiar with where Florida are and Kansas is, where Florida is and Kansas is,
good Lord,
on the map. By the way,
wow.
Well, Elliot had to fly down there a lot when he had a girlfriend that had a very bad situation there.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Hey, we made time for it.
I can't even say it. You know what?
Why can't you that when you can't say?
No, we can talk about her.
Well, that was the one where she found out that
she found out that I had relations with her cousin.
Had run through her entire family, and she didn't know.
God.
But I didn't know, and until I was already dating her, and then I was like, I'm sitting on this bomb, and then I gotta.
Yeah. By the way, I used to sleep with this one, and then it's like I used to change her diapers. I babysat her when she was a little girl.
That was part of the breakdown. She's like, "Are you seriously used to change her diapers?" And I'm like, Oh, like
So
I was
wait,
like, whoa,
You're
there's a
asking-
big age gap
Well,
between the two
no,
of
No,
them.
this is in Florida though. So his escapades have bled into Florida.
No, she's
Yeah.
a Kansas girl who moved to
She
Florida.
moved down there.
But I
was
only
about to
met
say,
her
what is your
when
number?
she was
if it's like
visiting.
multi-state, you find somebody
I'm
who
just
banged
cruising
a
the-
family.
I'm cruising the country.
That's impressive.
I'm cruising the country. No, the point is, yes,
Whoa.
Florida's a nice place, but it is a long drive. That's what I'm getting at.
You really got to catch a mother-daughter couple.
Should I? You know what?
A mother-daughter
Jake, that's my
couple,
next. That's
Jake.
my
Is
next
that your
goal. That's
thing?
my next conquest.
Is a mother-daughter couple?
No, I'm not. It's never gonna happen. That'd be such a disturbing dynamic that I don't want to get involved with.
Yeah, unless they're both hot. I guarantee.
Yeah,
Elliot
and
that.
you know what?
See,
There's some of
immediately,
those.
he immediately resigns.
All
Like,
right.
just that fast. Well, all right,
Well,
maybe.
okay. It's
Well,
no, because the thing
you
is, if
talked me
the
into it.
qualifications is only
Good
that they're mother and
Lord.
daughter, you're like, all right,
Ugh.
it's possible. But if you're like, they have to both be hot, I was like,
Anyway,
Okay, so all right, we're done.
Anyway,
You don't
good.
agree? That's fine. It was special to me. So, and these are ones that I personally thought.
No, he does
The
agree.
340. Well, no, the 4560 does.
Oh,
No,
right,
the 348. Yes, that one
I
was
forgot.
kind of teetering
I-
on the
I
list as
missed that
well.
car.
The only reason why the cocaine spec Ferrari was not on there was because technically you didn't have the title. So otherwise that would have been we would have talked about that for sure.
Yeah.
I had to put it on there because that one even I said I wish you could have. When you said you had to give it back, I was like no, because that car. Even pictures, it didn't matter, did not do it justice.
This hurts.
So
Really?
if
This hurts to
anybody
see this
knows
picture,
where
it hurts.
If anybody knows where this one is, the 348 with the arcade carpet interior,
There's
is
no way
Seats,
somebody changed
bus
it.
fabric.
It's bus fabric
bus
seats.
fabric. Sorry, bus fabric. Well, I mean they're not too far off. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Been in a lot of arcades in my life, not in a lot of
Roller
buses.
skate rink
A
carpet.
lot of been a lot of those, but okay.
The
anyways,
Jean-Claude Van Damme Bentley's
I
another
know,
one
I
that was
said
kind
that
of
was
like.
also very close to being on
And
the
the
list just because where are you
Rapide
going to
and
get
But
that?
I got pretty good money for that Bentley. I got,
did.
I think $50-something
Well, you
thousand
didn't do
dollars.
much with it.
I mean, he
used
spent
it.
money.
You did use it. I will say
used
that.
it. It's like I drove it hoping something would break it.
Didn't
It
you
just
make him
didn't.
mad?
But he wanted to buy it back, and then he went to instead and just bought a new Bentley instead.
Oh, he just didn't like
No,
the
God,
number.
that's such a rich guy thing.
Yeah.
I want my old Bentley. And I was like, never mind. I'm going to spend new Bentley money.
like, yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme's son DMs you, and then they call you up together on the phone. Like, I would
I'm
like
just-
my car back. This one saved my life. You know, I was in a downtime when I bought it, and I really want it back. And I'm like, yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay.
That makes great content.
Maybe that's the next one I'll do is celebrities that Tyler's made mad with his antics.
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody get mad when you fainted at the Glen when you did the gentlemen start your engines
that was
and you just
great.
that was
No.
beautiful.
No.
No,
man.
he pissed
Look
off
that
Frankie.
up
No,
if
he
you
pissed
haven't.
off Frankie Muniz. is
Malcolm
what he
in the
did.
Middle.
We can't talk about that.
Jay
We can.
Leno.
Can we?
Yeah.
That was on the list.
William Shatner.
I interacted with Frankie Muniz unknowingly, and then I realized it and took like a weird bad photo of him, which I still have, where he's looking shocked because he was selling a car that was on the block when I was next to him.
Oh.
It's a great photo, but
boy.
the thing is, I was standing on the block just like not doing anything, and he comes up to me and nudges me. He goes, "What do you think about this one?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
It's a piece of junk.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I forgot I don't even remember what it was. It might as well have been a first gen GTI something. It was like, and it was like a Friday afternoon car thing. And I was like, oh, and I just kind of gave him like a middle of the road answer. And he was like, oh, cool. And I was like, that was weird. Why did that guy ask me for that? And I looked
God.
over and I was like, Frankie Muniz.
But he's
And then I
asking you
was
for
like,
advice.
I was like, oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah, Tyler decided to
Tyler
be a complete
did.
clown and
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I'd do a little prank on him as an icebreaker, and it did not work very
No,
well.
and let's be nice to Frankie. He's not
Yes.
having a very good season in the ARCA Truck
Oh,
Series.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I forgot
anything
Mr. NASCAR over here.
anything that could go wrong. No, and it's fair. I watch it.
He got his show back, so he's making buck
Yeah,
there.
but I mean,
Things
this is
are
a guy
going
that, I
fine.
mean, if you follow NASCAR, which most people don't, but that's fine. He's in the Truck Series, and he's in a startup team. And he has weeks where he has speed, but this guy has had everything gone wrong that you could have go wrong, from the stupid and dumb to the just like it won't even like. There was one race where they were like on the warm up lap and it broke. Like it didn't even start the race. Like it gets halfway down and the oil line breaks and
Yikes.
just blows oil all
and it
over
makes
the
a
field.
mess on top
makes
of
a
that?
whole mess.
Yeah,
So the race
that's
has
the
to, like,
worst.
wait
If
for
your
30
car,
minutes
if your
to
car
clean.
breaks and then everyone has to wait an hour,
And of
it's-
course,
oh.
it's ARCA is now kind of a thing. People like to watch the ARCA series because Cletus was in it. You know,
Right.
he was racing in it, and that brought a bunch of eyeballs to it. So now everyone's wanting to see what's happening here. Or ARCA and Truck, I should say. This is the Truck series
The
for
Truck
Frankie.
series.
I'm sorry I got us derailed, but it was worth mentioning.
No, it was. But yeah, he's having a rough time of it, and yeah, it didn't.
But
go
you know
well.
what? It's fun. Still Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, it's
doing
still
cool
great.
stuff.
Okay, number 9. This one you'll probably disagree with as well. This is my Eleanor, so you might know where I'm going with this. If I say Eleanor, it's kind of a hint in a sense.
No crap. Yeah.
This is your 1966 Shelby GT350 Rent-A-Racer Hertz Special. This does nothing for you?
I have thoughts on this too, Rob.
This has nothing for
I
you?
had to. This was not a choice.
But
was
you
this
want
during a tumultuous period in your
Oh,
life?
wow. This is personal. Great. Huh. Which means 10 is also going to be personal. Okay. I'm going to let you take it away on this one. I'm just going to drink.
I had to settle personal obligations.
Oh, my God.
And I had to make some very tough choices.
He's going to make me an asshole.
You
out of
are an
this.
asshole.
Wow. I'm totally an asshole out of this.
Are you
Yeah.
just digging up
Oh
old
my
wounds? What are you doing?
God. I didn't remember this was why. Did you say that in the videos? Did you, was it clear? Was that clear?
He wasn't trying to make it bad.
Clear, as clear as I'm ever going to make it. And I did not want to sell a lot of these that I had to.
Boy, before you hate me, which is too late, would you want this one back?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then it belongs on the list.
This
All right,
is
now
the
go ahead.
car. I was so excited to start vintage racing.
What
and
a
I love
car.
going to vintage racing. I love watching it. I wanted to be a part of it. It seemed like the perfect car to do so as far as its pedigree and all that stuff. And I could hang with the real cars, the real GT350Rs of the day.
Oh, yeah.
For a fraction of the money, because this started out as a Hertz Rent-A-Racer, but then was bought after it was with Hertz and then raced in period in the 70s and all that stuff.
That's cool.
So it had the pedigree to where it was a golden ticket to all of these amazing vintage races because of that.
Yep.
But it wasn't a $500,000 GT350R
No.
Mustang. It was whatever I paid for, $130,000, which
I
was
don't
a
think
lot of money.
Did you pay
but
that? I didn't think you paid even that much for
I think
it.
it was $130,000.
Was it 130? But I mean, yeah, when you told me and you called me and you said, I can take this to the Rolex Monterey revival
Yeah.
and race it. I'm like, you've made it.
Yep.
This is it.
I remember a similar
And how
conversation with you. And
excited
you're like,
you
I can
were.
legit
And
do it.
now to realize that this was part of the group that went away for why it went away makes me feel like a gigantic steaming pile of shit. Which is not where I was, but it belongs on the list because it obviously is one you definitely want to have
into
back.
2022 with almost no mortgage, debt free, all this stuff, so and I'm in a very different position now, and it is what it is. I'm dealing with it, and that is one.
But,
it hurt. Yes,
Tyler, I have good news for you.
yeah.
The last 3 that have sold on Bring a Trailer have all sold for about the same money.
Okay.
110,
Just
123.
normal Hertz cars?
Hertz cars that are real GT350Hs.
Real GT350Hs, but not golden tickets to vintage racing.
Oh,
Because
right,
you do
'cause it
have
would
to have the pedigree
the
enough
pedigree.
to get in.
Now I don't know. I didn't research that far enough to know.
You cannot take like a normal H car and then get it to them. So because this thing has photos of it racing in period, like old photo, like it did everything. It did hill climb events.
Oh.
It did drag races. It did road racing. And the people that had it, like all different kinds of motors, because the motor blew and they just like, what can we get to put in this thing to go racing next weekend?
Yeah, that was
So-
the best time in racing.
Oh, it was. And then in the NASCAR stuff, that you talk about NASCAR, talking about in the early stuff, they would shove whatever the hell they could
Right.
what
to
works.
get it going. And they
Yeah.
were all, they were cheating. You had to cheat
I'll
to
say
win.
it's another memory I have. I've been to several social events where we've had around cars and stuff like that. This was the only car I've ever seen your dad bring his friends over to go check
That's
out.
true.
And I know that your dad's a very proud guy and he likes being around and he's like, look at all these cars my son has. But this is the only one that I've watched your dad beckon someone over to get in and look at this one. Of all of them. I mean,
And
of all
randomly
of them.
start the thing up too.
Yes. See,
and
that's the
rev
same party.
crap out of it
Cold.
Like,
Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember that's the part that
Wait, now, was that-
I was gonna leave that out. I was like, I just remember your dad beckoned people over. I was like, man, I've never seen Tyler's dad give a crap about half of these cars.
Was that before the motor broke? When he was revving it? Remember it broke, right? Didn't it break?
I can't remember.
And by the way,
that
folks,
was
nobody heard it in real life. This was a loud car.
Oh, it
Loud.
sounded
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
So good.
it's just a rocker arm fell off or something
that-
like that.
okay, it
It was
wasn't that
it
bad.
was an easy
It
thing.
just this
Yeah.
thing was if you've ever heard a '60s more or less open header car,
This was the only like 60s car that you take it somewhere to like a place where there's Veyrons and stuff. And a typical Cars and Coffee or what Cars and Cox pits or whatever you call it. You take it to one of those and if a Veyron comes in, how the crowd just follows it. This is one of the only like classic cars that if that pulls in,
Yeah,
a crowd will follow. And just like
and I
my
think-
NASCAR did that when Jake brought it.
job,
There's
Jake.
not thank you, Jake, for that. There's not a lot of people, there are a lot of cars that are kind of classic or older. Certainly
Yeah.
not a Dodge Avenger that would do it. So I'm proud of my NASCAR for that. But this car was striking in every single way. And it was real. Like that was it was
that's
like
what
you
I
had
was
a
gonna
real
say.
H, and now I've depressed the shit out of you. Which
I
sucks.
had to sell it, and then I told you like, hey, when you're selling your fastback,
Oh my god! You parlayed that into the fast. You
and you
suck.
completely forgot, and you
I
sold
love
it to
this
Jay
so
Lauer
much.
impulsively for less
Oh
than what I was
my
going to pay for it. Because
God.
I sold that one at auction, and I could have bought yours for 30 or 35, or
And that would
whatever.
have scratched the itch, and you stripped that
would've-
from him.
I would have done
fully deserve this. I
pretty
literally
close.
did.
I would have done a little bit more streetable version of this car.
Nobody is going to believe that we're friends off the air. Just not nobody. Holy crap! How did you turn that in? Unbelievable.
I'm almost. My eyes are almost watering. That was really funny.
That was well. I mean, you know what? I
Yep.
guess on the next
'Cause he-
episode, I will have a
Rob
sincere
had a
apology.
beautiful green fastback.
It
that
is
had like
beautiful.
the paint had a perfect kind of fade patina to
Oh,
it.
it was
It looked
cool.
really cool. It's just a 289 automatic, or I mean,
No, it's a
289 stick.
manual.
I mean, manual.
Tremec
But-
5-speed.
But, yeah, upgraded Tremec 5-speed. But if you just
AC.
if somebody had taken that 289 and built it up like what this was, and then and it would have been very easy to bring it to 70-80% of that car for $40,000 all in, and he sold it to a car dealer to.
I don't even want to do
This does
10
bring up
now.
the thing
Oh
that
my
I
God.
still love.
We're done. We're gonna
So
stop
one of
at
Tyler's biggest things, if you guys have been watching or listening, is his frustration with Rob's choices when selling a car. Buying a car, all on Rob. Totally his thing. When
will
selling,
help.
when selling a car, and I think I can summarize it like this: Tyler's gripe is test the free market.
Yeah.
And then sell it to a dealer who will give you dealer price. Rob's version of testing the free market is asking Tyler
There's
if he
Rob's
wants
Mustang
it.
that he dumped.
That is testing the market.
No, but that's it. You go, Tyler, do you want it? And Tyler goes, no. And he
that
goes,
one I said
"All right."
yes. That one I said yes. He
Right,
wasn't
which
ready
is
yet.
why- which
that
is
was
the gripe.
1 year before I actually sold it.
But my gripe with this is that it's still, I have the gripe with Rob too. It's like, float it, sell it, try to sell it yourself. You won't. You go, does Tyler want it? No. All right, Lauer, literally any number you throw at me, yes.
Not any number. I make it fair.
But he
And
didn't
you
even
gotta
ask me on
remember-
this one. He was impulsively.
All
He
right.
wanted the money right then, and when
Yeah, but
Lauer was
let's-
there
all right,
to
hold
seize
on,
the
it's
moment.
not just
all-
Lauer. It was for Earl. Earl bought it. It was a check from Earl with his name on it.
By the way, for those listening at home, Earl is Lauer's dad.
Yes.
Earl's
his dad.
Lauer's dad.
So-
He already has a '69 real Shelby. He does not need this.
Not helping myself, but look how I do miss that. There's
Yeah.
one I shouldn't have sold. If I ever get famous enough, which I won't, for anyone to do one on me, that's one that would be on my list. But okay, big mistake. That car's patina was
So
sexy as
now
hell.
you've gotten Tyler in his feelings.
Yes, I.
Patina. It was a shit 90s respray that was failing.
Right.
That
I'm
was patina,
so
damn it.
annoyed by you calling it that. You act like it's some vintage original paint.
It wasn't
It's all
original
red.
paint.
It's
This is-
shit
so-
clear coat.
I'm so happy that
He's
at least we got
having
Jake
a
to
Jake's
respond.
having a
I
meltdown.
wish Jake
He
had
is
his
melt-
Jake mic again.
It
He-
looks-
Every time you said that when you owned that car, I wanted to shit on your parade, but now we're
Oh, he's
collectively
yelling.
shitting on it.
He's
Oh my
yelling.
god!
So
I've never heard you this animated about anything. I bring it out the best.
I
in
way,
liked
last
that it
week,
had a crappy paint job
falling
on it. That
asleep.
was endearing to me. It was endearing to me that it had a crappy paint job that was failing. And I guess you wouldn't call it patina because it's not original. I agree with his argument, but yeah.
But also the definition of it, it's a form of patina.
It is
Yeah.
a form of patina, yes.
But either way,
Sorry,
I do
Jake,
I
for
do
not
like
using
the
the proper
dichotomy of
term.
Jake here. Last
Goodness.
week, falling asleep in the chair.
Yeah,
Right.
oh yeah, he's fully engaged.
This week, screaming from
to the point where his phone fell out and just like dropped
it's
off, and it took him a minute to figure it out last week.
Yeah, it's
We're
like,
like,
this
Jake's
is-
dead.
Okay.
What's going on?
All
So
right, I don't
is
want-
there one more car?
There's
since
one
now
more
I'm
car. I
thoroughly
don't even want to
depressed?
do it though. I mean, after 9, 10's just
How
I
much
feel
is
like
this
I'm-
one gonna hurt his feelings?
More.
Hey, give me that. I never
Yeah, I
want
know.
to drink.
Yeah, give me that. Just
There you
take it
go.
from
Just
the
take a
bottle.
swig.
Take it
It's
from
good.
the
It's
bottle.
Route
It's Route
66.
66.
Oh, we both said it differently.
What?
See?
What'd you say?
I said Route 66,
No,
which I
Route-
don't think is right.
Well, I'm not doing that because last week it was the Modena thing, and you were right, and I was wrong. So
I know.
I'm
I
not
said
even
Modena,
correct.
and you were like, it's Modena.
Yeah, and it's not. So
As-
the
like,
Italian,
as if-
the Italian screwed that up.
I think you do the Spanish pronunciation with the
Modena.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did it
no,
wrong.
no. It's,
yeah the Tex-Mex version.
oh, I was gonna.
Okay,
I was
so-
gonna say, what's her name's boyfriend?
Let's
when I
just
do
let's just get this
Francisco,
one
and I'm
over
like,
with. This one was more in
yes.
light. Unfortunately, this one would have been great had I not just broken his heart in 3 other cars. And then literally number 9. Yeah.
No, I didn't see it, but
did
just
you not?
what is it?
It's just, well, it's recent. And this one was just more light and fun because it's your Cadillac Eldorado.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what,
Now,
though? I have middling thoughts on this, and I'd like
there's
to
a couple
hear,
reasons
I'd like
why.
to hear you out
Here's
on this.
why I think the fun reason, and this was the fun reason before we did this, and now that
This
I'm
is
here,
the fun reason because you're being a bully.
yeah. This now it goes from fun to me being just a gigantic asshole. Is the fun reason was you paid $12,000 for it, and it sold for how much on Bring a Trailer?
50,000.
55,000.
Under a month, very quickly.
Under a month,
Very
it sold for
quickly.
$55,000, and you actually traded it. I think you said for 12. So that's so.
I bought it for about 12 and then spent a lot of money making it all work again. And I was getting it ready. I think Jake even took pictures of it for Cars and Bids. It was ready to go. This is where I make the mistake that you make, where a car dealer dangled the carrot in front of me of the Holy Grail Cadillac Escalade minus the color. And I wasn't sure what this car was going to do because it had no title. It was a GM Heritage Collection car, heavily modified to where when they sold it, they didn't want it to be on the roads anymore. They didn't want the liability of that, so they sold it as a certificate of construction. And that was a long time ago. So I didn't think it was going to bring very much money. And it sold at collector car auctions. I bought it at a collector car auction. It sold 2 other times before that at a collector car auction. Never got more than $15,000. So I thought it was pretty safe to just sell. I bought it for 12, probably spent 5 fixing it. Sold the guy for 12 to get into the Escalade. Never would have thought 2 guys would run it up. And honestly, when I saw the final number, I think the first words on my mouth were, "I'm going to kill myself."
You texted me the exact same words. You're like, I am going to kill myself.
I believe you also included me in something
Yes,
similar.
I
I was actually like, because I was taking so many hits personally, and you know, the downfall of the finances. Because you imagine you work so hard, you build up, this big mountain, Scrooge McDuck of it, and then it's all gone through your own stupid mistakes, and then you let $50,000 just walk out the door.
Here's what I'll say about this. Yes, but, and this is why I say I had a middling opinion on this. Yes, I think your acquisition of the car, the price you paid, and due diligence of looking at what it traded hands for previously was all fine. Here's the straight facts about the car. Whether you like it or not, it's not worth a tinker's damn. You can't drive it, realistically.
What
Yeah,
the hell's a Tinker's Dam?
It's a
What are
saying,
you,
guys.
107?
Yeah, no, that's supposed to be your role on the podcast. But anyway, the point is, here's the deal. A fluke happened. You got the online equivalent of the guys that get hammered at Barrett Jackson and get each other jacked up about a certain car,
Right.
and bid something up. I don't think this car will ever trade hands again for that level
It got
of
shared
price.
all over the internet when it was listed for sale on some big blogs and things. And if Cadillac was going to take something to a custom hot rod shop and say, make it cool of something that they already have, they'd be spending $1 million. They'd be spending $500,000. So back in the day, I imagine this was probably $250,000 for them to go through and make this Eldorado, as far as chopping, channeling, everything that they did. So the craftsmanship was unreal. You're right, you can't drive it, but everything was bespoke, one off, total custom, amazing. $50,000 in hindsight makes sense, but it sold 3 times for under $15,000 because nobody wanted to deal with the no title thing.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that that's reasonable. And I think for a collection, even a guy who has a big enough collection to justify non-drivable cars, and I've seen and dealt with these people over the years, there is a size of collection where you can deal with, like the Monte Carlo, where you go, that's just cool. I don't care that I can't drive it.
Yeah.
That requires a collection of 50 plus cars is where I'd put the bare minimum of, I can handle a car that I can't drive. Even then, though, and I'm thinking of, for me in my fantasy world where I have 50 plus cars, I'm like, the cars that I could handle not driving are going to be very weird, like stuff like, I just don't think like this was one of them. I think 15, 20 grand is about right. I think it was the perfect storm of 2 guys that really, really wanted it. And I think especially if they hold on to it for another 10, 20 years themselves, everyone's going to wonder what was so cool about this. Like, I don't think it's going to be that.
All the boomers will be dead that appreciate it.
Right. It's
I mean, it's going to go to people that
the
won't
point
get
is,
it.
it's still an unusable. It is a large paperweight.
Right.
At the end of the day. Now, this one looked cool, and I had the pleasure of moving it and stuff, and it sounded really cool.
It
did sound cool. It had a cool, like, slat exhaust. And it was a cool car. I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying it's an unusable car.
Not that anybody should feel bad for me, because all the stuff was very self-inflicted, what I did myself. And obviously, there's people that are really actually struggling right now. So, and I'm fine. Well, it sucks to know that you're at a certain level of success, and then watch you lose it all, basically. And then, that's to the point where, like, the SLR is the only big car I have left, and it has a $180,000 loan on it. So that's so that's where that's because the house renovations and things, which I complain about so much on my YouTube channel. People got tired of it, which I totally understand. Like, you idiot, you did all these dumb things, and reap what you sow. So I get it. That money would have been great to have at the time. And
it was at a time when you were getting.
It's just nuts when you not a celebrity. It's like a name in the car industry.
Not a celebrity.
I'm saying no. When you're selling something, you go, because even it's listed previously owned by Hoovie's Garage. It gets in the title.
I'm gonna.
So that didn't get it for $50,000, but for some reason, but just two guys flip it the next month.
Guys,
that doesn't make any sense.
In a
I'd like to point out that I'm sorry.
Right? Am I wrong on that?
It's like the only thing you're wrong about is, I hate to say this, and this is not trying to get back in his good graces, because I just shit on him in a major way, but he is a celebrity. I mean,
know
my
he
God,
is.
We go to Monterey with the guy, you can't even get a word in. People are just flocking to him. Hell, it happens when we go to dinner. It's here. When we go to dinner in Kansas. It's there's some old guy comes up and is like, hey, is there any way? I love your shows. Wherever you go, random spots.
It's only with car people and things, but it's also like Doug DeMuro gets recognized everywhere he goes because he has a very distinctive look, and I think it's just because, like, my head is so much larger than my body that I kind of stick out a little bit.
Let's not get into your body dysmorphia. We're not getting into that.
Because people that are celebrities are much better at blending in than somebody that has the sonic spikes.
No, it's because Leonardo DiCaprio, when he's off set, wears like a hat with a hoodie pulled up and like sweats and like.
No, here's what I'm happy about. Here's where I'll take this. Why I love that is because of the fact that, yes, it's car people that are stopping you, but it tells me there's still so many car people that are passionate about cars. My 12-year-old daughter could care less other than riding in a car. I remember being so excited to get my driver's license. I wanted it at 9 if I could get it. And now it's like, Brooklyn, you excited to drive when you turn 16? No. And most every kid I asked that's 14 or 15, why would you? They could care less.
Because there's the sense of freedom is gone. I don't want to go into a whole different deal, but the reason we got excited about it is because, well, now I can go buy something if I want. Well, now I can go get food if I want. That is gone.
Oh, it's all gone, and that's true.
You don't. There's none of this. I don't need the freedom to do those things anymore.
But it's a good reminder to me that when like a 17 or 18-year-old kid comes up to him and says, "Man, I love your channel. I love what you do," they're still really awesome car people, and it's because of people like you that have built these channels of hoopties and things. Because ultimately, that's why I built Cars and Coffee, was because I wanted it to be for the kid that had a $300 BMW that he found that he spent $1,000 on, and it barely made it, but he's proud of it. And that's the car guys, and that's why they're still there. I see all this stuff going electrified, and it's great. But you see a lot of people, a lot of kids that are just kind of tuning out of the car scene. But it's a good reminder that there's still so many kids that are into cars that it's not going away. We're still going to have an amazing car culture.
But I didn't have any personal attachments to the Eldorado. It was just in hindsight a really bad decision that everybody loved to like. It's like everybody knew. Well, of course, it would sell for $50,000. No, nobody knew that. Nobody would have guessed that.
No,
ever.
And that was
I would deride anyone who'd said that to me with a straight face.
Yeah. Again, the only reason why I put it on there to finish light, to be like, ha ha, but there's no ha ha's because after 9 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1, I've really painted myself into a bad corner here. But
currently live on Cars and Bids.
It's cool. Yeah.
It's another one of those GM Heritage Collection bill of sale cars with tons of body modifications, performance modifications, all that stuff. Lightning could strike twice, and people could bid $50,000 for it.
This time, guys, please remember, celebrity Tyler Hoover owned this car.
The celebrity. We've now proven that
there was no disclosure on Bring a Trailer that I own that car,
which is nuts. That nobody even remembered this car.
That is amazing.
that car really stood on its own, and so does the Brickyard car.
The Brickyard car.
It does, but I'm just saying it's one of those. Okay,
What is the current bid?
It's
right
not
now, the Brickyard car?
Ledzilla
let's
or
see,
anything
what is
like
it?
that.
We'll end
This
with
was-
that, I suppose. But the option will be
actually, I
long
wanna
finished
end-
by the
Look,
time
he's
this
gonna
is-
get up. He's gonna be like
here's what I-
$3,000. So balls.
What I want to end with is just go ahead and
What is
give
it,
me.
Jake? Pull it. No, just let Jake pull it up.
I'm there. It is at $3,416.
Oh, good. I wasn't that far off, and I'm sorry. to-
3,000
But it just went live today. It just went live today.
So,
So at the
yeah,
end of
no,
Saturday,
all at the end, all back.
all at the end is when all the
fine.
battles happen. Yes.
Here's what I want to finish this whole thing. That was my list. I think great points. Great points on some of these. And again, 100% sincere on whatever the car was I was talking about that I shouldn't have sold. But what one car that's not on my list is the one car that you shouldn't have sold in your mind? Is there, obviously there's one I missed. What is the one for you that maybe even your audience doesn't know about?
I still think it's the 348.
Okay. That's fair.
As
that's
far as
a
one
great pick.
before, there's a lot of sentimental attachments to cars before YouTube, but there was no way for me to financially hang on to all these cars. My original Buick Roadmaster that I took all over the country, 94 Roadmaster Estate, I didn't have a garage for it, and I didn't want to see it degenerate, so I sold it for $4,500. A really nice blue LT1 Roadmaster Estate.
So you
And it ended up in Germany. When I got my big garage, that was the first car I went to try and find. It got exported to Europe, and there was
That's a wild card.
no
export
getting it
here.
back. That was one. My first Grand Wagoneer was one I sold on eBay for $8,000. It had 80,000 miles on it. It was really nice, and I bought it for $4,500. I thought I was hitting the lottery on that one, but I had a lot of fun with that. So
Is that the one that my owner has?
no, this
No.
is a silver one that I had back in 2000. I bought it. It was the first car I ever bought, like for myself for my birthday. I was like, I'm going to buy this for myself for my birthday. It was
Very
in
cool.
2010 or 11, something, or maybe 2009 is what it was. Yeah. Bob's 450 SEL 6.9 that he sold me for $4,500, a Euro car. That's one of the early Hoovie's Garage videos. It's not Hoovie's Garage, it's a Tyler video where I have a burnout video of this thing just endlessly burn out into the sunset forever. It's like 450 SEL 6.9 burnout, and it pulls up, gets a lot of views. I guess if you can pull that up, Jake, that we can end on that one when he pulls it up. But that would be one. Man, I wish I had that car. That'd be an amazing YouTube car.
Yeah.
So
At your
absolutely.
last, I guess, couple of houses, you did have photos of these cars in the garage.
I did. I had a cool wall kind of.
And yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I feel like everything you've mentioned, every one of those cars that you actually have a photo with from that time period, probably would have qualified for that.
Yep. There
Yes.
she
Yeah,
blows.
this
Look at
was
that.
technically your first thing, right?
Yeah.
This is your
This
first
was it.
foray.
This was it.
Yep. Just kind of 0 to 60 in burnout videos in 2000.
And
What's
yeah.
your
8, 9,
neighbors
10.
thinking
No,
this
no,
then?
and kids, this I
my
remember
God.
this era of YouTube. This is what YouTube was for.
Yes.
It was this.
Yep. Exactly.
Cool
And
to
yeah,
see.
13 seconds.
Yep. Just
And look at that.
That's a
endless.
pretty good one.
yeah, the Euro
Look
ones
at
had more
that.
power. The hydraulic suspension was adjustable to go up and down, and yeah, the slim bumpers is so pretty. $4,500. Like, oh my god. They're
You can't touch them for that now.
they're $30,000 in that same condition
For a
now.
Wow, really?
Because that one was a little edgy.
My
And- yeah.
God.
Damn.
Very awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
good,
I
good,
wouldn't
good
mind
list,
one of
Rob.
those.
No, thank
way
you.
to hurt his feelings.
Yeah,
I knew this was gonna hurt. Yeah.
a little bit, but how'd I do overall?
You did great.
Good
Yeah,
list.
they're overall good choices. I wouldn't
you.
dispute many of them. But yeah, how the mighty have fallen, right?
you,
come back. I
consulted
think-
me on this, and I was genuinely surprised on
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah, and I think the coolest thing of all this was that quote. It's so cool to find that quote where you really thought when you had that Gallardo that when you were getting near 40, nobody was going to want to watch you now dealing with broken hoopties, and
And I should say, I am the happiest I've ever been.
you are 1,000%,
far and away.
1,000%.
The
Million
the net worth. Okay, that's a number. But how I feel and how happy I am and what I have, I'm so grateful for. And my life is so good now. It would be nice with less debt, which I just sold the Bugatti and working on that. So
More
but
hoopties.
Hoopties. I love
More
hoopties.
hoopties.
I'm just as happy doing hoopties as I am doing supercars. And I don't care. I don't feel the need to to chase, the supercar of the month anymore. Like
Well,
I
and I
was
think I can speak for
3-4
Elliot
years
and
ago.
I both that we're happy to go along with this, or go along with the ride.
We have seen
what a ride it's
but
been.
I think we've seen both sides of it.
So
been great to
I
see.
hope people care when I'm 40 that I'm still buying hoopties.
Well, you've only
I
got
say
a
at
year-
32.
You got a year left, bud. So and also a lot less gray hair than in the Gallardo video.
That's true.
Oh yeah, you've kind of done the
Meanwhile,
opposite.
Yeah, meanwhile.
Now, next week, what are you doing, Elliot?
so I'm going to do the car brands that have fallen off the hardest. I think I'm gonna have a better title to it then. But basically, car brands we all know that were, hey, that's a great brand and that I know and love. That
Car brands that did a Hoovie. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already to the Hoopty, not the Hoopty Cast. Yes, it is the Hoopty
it is
Cast.
the
It is,
Hoopty.
Okay, yes, and
No
we have the
simps.
Patreon below, which helps support these guys. So yeah,
Please
thank
do.
you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.